Let's fucking go.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you're watching episode number 80, that's 80, we're getting closer and closer to episode 100 of The Hope Show, a weekly live stream dedicated to 1/6 scale collecting in general, movies, TV, pop culture, all of that type of thing. We have got with us tonight, we have got Rogue One Photography, aka Phil, H and Silver Fox, Ian, and we got Jim Collector. How are you doing on this fine evening, gentlemen?
Doing good.
Okay.
Good.
Good stuff.
Very good, yeah.
You actually, I just noticed, Ian, I believe you're drinking a pint of Guinness.
I am, my good friend.
And you're a bit of a method actor. You seem to be dressed like a pint of Guinness, which is fantastic. He's gone all out. This guy is just like, I'm telling you, yeah. That's amazing.
Perfect.
So
Fashionable, Ian.
I mean, you talk about these method actors. He was like straight into it. Like, yeah, he's going to drink himself now in a while. Thanks very much for joining. Collection looks fresh behind you. Excellent stuff. I think this one's going to be a good one. What do you think?
I have I've taken off some of the figure stands, the bases. I'm going with that just now, so you can. Yeah, so
you're just trying to see what it looks like, see how it feels.
Yeah, so I've done
reason?
some. You can see Spider-Man here. Oh, there's quite a bad reflection. I've not sorted out the other stuff yet, but I've just been having a little look, and yeah, so far so good. I think I prefer it.
That vulture and dewback look incredible in those cases.
I see the vulture, but then I see some sort of a small dog. All right, no, that is the dewback. That is the dewback. Yeah. Yeah, man, that vulture looks incredible as well. And I'm a fan of that homecoming suits Spider-Man with the blazer.
It's a great figure. I don't know if I take this off and you see it a bit better, but yeah, it's a good figure. There's no
That's
denying
the
it.
Jazz Inc., isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it mental?
Sorry?
The way Hot Toys, isn't it mental the way Hot Toys randomly just come up with these epic teases like the 2022 Batmobile and the Vulture? Stay tuned. We've been staying tuned for about 3 years, but nothing's actually happening. It's mad the way they do these things and never actually.
That is
Go ahead,
crazy.
Yeah. What about yourself, Jim? How are you keeping?
Yeah, pretty good. It's been kind of a busier time at work, but of course it is a 4-day week now and next week, so feeling pretty chuffed about that, to be honest.
You've a 4-day week. What's that?
Yeah.
Is that for Good Friday or off, are you?
Yeah, that's it. No work Friday, no work Monday, so cheeky 4-day weekend. So looking forward to that one.
You know, there was Good Friday, I think for the longest time, was the only day where you weren't able to buy alcohol legally in Ireland. You weren't able to buy it for religious reasons, whatever, because Catholic country, whatever. You weren't able to buy drink in Good Friday. I think that and people would just raid the off license on a Thursday, and eventually they just gave up and said, "Oh, here," and they just reversed it. And yeah, you can drink now if you want. Even like Christmas Day, I don't think it was illegal to sell alcohol on Christmas Day. Just a lot of places weren't actually open. But yeah, now it doesn't matter. You can. Thank God.
It's given in.
Yeah. It's like, come on, like, who are you fooling? Phil, how are you getting on?
Yeah, really good. I wasn't expecting to be here tonight, but
I'm glad you are. What is
Appreciate
the beverage you're drinking tonight?
It's a Peroni starter with Cruz Campo kicker, I think, later on.
Man of culture. A Peroni. It's a nice beer, actually. It's Italian beer, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I quite like
the,
the Italian beers. Yeah.
Cruz Campo. Is that a beer as well?
Cruz Campo's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of like have you heard of Madri? It's similar to a Madri.
Spanish,
it's
right?
like it's almost like a dark lager, I suppose. It's the best way to explain it.
Do you like craft beers?
Yeah.
Do you like the heavier kind of cloudy wheat beers?
I'm not so much of a fan of the wheat beers.
Yeah. So
But
like the
I do
Erdinger or Hoegaarden wouldn't be your...
No, I'm not a fan of Hoegaarden.
Yeah. It's like a meal.
It is, yeah. But I like sort of hazy IPAs, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm big into
So-
the IPAs. You wouldn't stay on them all day, though.
No, I tried it. I think it was back last summer, and a few of the guys got together because we've got a few breweries in Cardiff, Tiny Rebel. I can't quite remember the other one, but they've got some fantastic IPAs and ales, and some of them are like 60%. It's like what?
60%.
60%. You can have like
that's
a
not fun.
taster, and no. But
That's not fun. It's like poachine and stuff like that. It's grand to have to taste it and see what it's like.
Yeah,
but
I've had it. Yeah, because
it's not.
where we work, we get or used to get. I don't know if you've ever seen McBurney lorries.
No.
No, I think they're
Is it a brewery?
Irish-based. They're Irish-based sort of chill chain company. One
Right.
of the drivers used to come over and, I got some poachine. Do you want some poachine? Made it myself. Oh, wow.
I used to live with this guy, a doctor, real cool guy. Alan was his name, and he was a doctor, and he was on his first few years of residency or whatever. And he said he came home one day. He goes, "Oh, you're a chemistry teacher. Got a good one for you." These two Russian lads had come in very, very sick, and it turns out they had alcohol poisoning. What that actually happened was, it doesn't matter what alcohol you're drinking, whether it's Guinness, beer, wine, your IPA, poachine, gin, whiskey. It doesn't matter what you're drinking. It's still ethanol. It's the only one that's that they sell. That is, it doesn't matter what type of alcohol you're on. It's ethanol.
Yeah.
It's the only one you can drink and not die. And even, let's be honest, that's not completely true. People have died from alcohol poisoning. But the boys had gone home to Russia. Some of them, they met up with their mates. Their mates make their own vodka, but they messed up the fermenting process, so there was traces of methanol in the ethanol. Methanol causes blindness, so the boys were. And the funny thing is, he said there was actually an incubation period. It takes a few days for the methanol to have a real full effect. So they got very sick. They survived. They were fine, but it's just thought it was. It's probably a close call. A high amounts of ethanol that could be game over.
It's potatoes, isn't it? It's poachine.
Yeah,
made from
yeah.
potatoes,
That's all you need is a glucose source. That's all it is. The fermentation reaction with yeast. So if you have grapes, that's for wine. Beers are typically hops and barley, wheat, and vodka, potatoes. Surprised the Irish aren't into the vodka. But yeah,
That's why you run out.
This is what it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
I tell you, Shane, 2018, I was in Moscow and ended up drinking with some Russians, and it was a place about 20 yards from the KGB office. My goodness, I thought somebody had snapped. My whole life just went through my eyes. These guys and women, jeez, what they can drink.
It's a different level.
So
Polish.
100 proof. I was like,
It's a different level. Because I was at a Polish wedding before, and
Yeah.
what you're
Polish.
describing now, that I know that fear. It's they do, but it's very dignified what they do. They all sit around and say you're at your table of 8 or 10, and they have their food, whatever, and they bring out these plates of fruit. So there's everyone has plates of fruit, and you have apple juice and orange juice, and there's special type of vodka in the middle of the table, and then it's every 10 minutes someone different pours. It goes around in a circle, and like say one person will pour everyone their shot of vodka, and they'll stand up and they'll say, I don't know, is Nostrovia or something like that. There's some phrase, and they drink, and then they sit down again. They wash it down with apple juice or orange juice, and then they have some fruit for 10 minutes, and gradually, so they're not just necking it, like, you know what I mean. But it's very dignified. But man, I can't. No.
Yeah.
Give me a beer, I'm fine. Dave, how are you keeping? You made it. Sorry, I didn't realize you were in the back there. I heard the pop and then I was checking.
Oh yeah, no, I just got home from my little trip to Texas, so I'm here. I'm ready to roll.
Did you say you just got home? You're a little bit sick, or you just got home from work?
No, I got home from I was in Texas.
All right.
And I just got off the road.
And you're there for business or pleasure?
A little bit of both.
Ah, good stuff. A working holiday.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent. I'm glad you're here. And Bob, how are you keeping?
Hello. Yeah, really good. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I think my mic might be super loud today, but does it sound okay?
No, last week it was quite quiet because I listened to it on the replay and it was quite quiet. But now it seems quite good now. You're definitely louder and more audible. No, as in
Awesome.
it's not extra loud. It seems quite good. Did you change the settings or something?
Yeah, I plugged it in.
That was probably it. Yeah. That's how did you crack that code? Well, look, I'm glad we can hear you anyway, folks. Yeah, it happens. A million things going on. I'm going to address the chat real quickly because if I don't, we got 40 people watching there. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. That simple, free thing to do. People forget to do it, but if you like the content, please click the like and subscribe button. It does actually help the algorithm. It helps the channel by getting the this particular stream out there and shows it to more people and stuff like that. Christian was here yesterday. Is today? Well, he was talking about yesterday. Tonight, he's inferring the Anakin giveaway, or did I miss it? No, you didn't miss it. It is not tonight. I want to wait until it actually gets. Since Sideshow starts shipping it, but don't worry, I will give you plenty of notice. I'm not entirely sure yet. Will I wait for them or what? Yeah. So no, that's it's not tonight. You'll be given plenty of notice. Don't you worry. As usual, folks, the pinned comment in the live chat is a link to channel memberships if you would like to join. No obligation, but it is greatly appreciated. So we've got obviously Phil in the. He's a channel member, panel member, and he's a wielder of the blue wrench. We also have Tiny Art Guy Bob, who is a channel member as well. We have Philly Figurecraft. I was on a stream last night with him with Ben Thomas. Good day, fellow collectors. Getting all shaken over here in the US. My most precious collection is okay. No damage. Oh, there must be a storm going on, Philly. Is there?
No,
There's
there's
an
a 6.0 in it. 6.0
Oh,
this week, isn't it?
really? I didn't realize. I haven't been listening to the radio or on the news or anything. I just didn't really kind of flat out today. But I hope you're okay. I hope your family are okay and your house is okay and everything, and you're valuable and stuff like that. And thanks for joining us. Thalia Meyer all the way from Germany. Thank you very much. We've got Collector Joey giving us the preemptive 5-star. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Really nice guy. One of the greatest guys in the collecting world. Great channel as well, and always comes across so well, and he works hard, man, on those videos. They don't happen by accident. Thanks very much, Joey. Really do appreciate it. We got Boba Fettuccini, a long time supporter and channel member. Thank you very much. We got Shiny Focus was 10 minutes late, but Andor was 9 years late. That's I've made good time. I make good time. Thank you very much for being here. And Shiny recently became a channel member. We got Geo the movie canon. I was listening to Geo the movie canon, his from stream last night, and the replay while I was organizing some of the slides. We have Ryan, the guitar god. Respect the lore. Hey collectors, how it goes. Every time I see Ryan in the chat, I think I need to get that 9 Inch Nails ticket, otherwise I'm going to be in spot of bother. But every time I log into Ticketmaster, there's still no one reselling the standing tickets. So I nearly just go to the gig and get one on tout outside, chance it. But look, I'm going one way or another. I'm going. If I have to sit, I'll sit. Who else do we have? We have L Walker. Thanks very much for being here. We have also got. We got Vita, who is a channel member and actually is officially, she super chatted last week, so I just added her to the list of people who are officially in with a chance to win that Artisan Anakin Skywalker.
Damn, I gotta get Gemma to do that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's for Vita, and she can probably sell it to Jim for $1,000 if she wants. Left for Dead Fet, thank you very much for being here. Wheat beer with lemon is what Vita is recommending. Who else do we have here? Of course, we got X-Men Supreme. He's a channel member. He's a panel member. We also have a lot of chat here. The Humble Collector UK, who is here pretty much every single day. Ian has some interesting stories. I think Ian has a book in him. It might be R-rated, but there's definitely a book there. We got Mark Mitchell. Thanks very much for being here. Channel member as well. A lot of support here as well. This Akira. Akira is from the north of Ireland. Thank you very much for being here. I saw him on Ben Thomas's show last night as well.
Akira,
Angry
Akira.
Dog Hobby. Pardon?
I don't know
Oh, sorry.
why.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah,
Yeah, the penny just dropped there.
Yeah.
The penny just dropped there. Yeah. I got you. Should I wait for some Alien, Predator, or Terminator announcements till the end of this semester? Well, there's Terminator announcements already. You got the T800, the Battle Damage 2.0, the DX46. You got the fantastic looking T1000, and then you've got the clean version as well. Could be all we're getting. I'm hoping for a Sarah Connor, but here's hoping. Predator, that Jungle Predator, no idea where it is supposed to come. Alien. Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping. Star Crash, thanks very much for being here as well. Yeah, I don't want to miss 9 Inch Nails. I've seen him 3 times already, but I haven't seen him in well over a decade, so I really want to go see them again. I'm nearly all the way. Yeah, I think I'm up there. You guys don't give me enough credit. We give you loads of credit. We say you're Jim's better half, and here's Jim himself as well. Jim, Vita has officially entered the Artisan Skywalker giveaway, and I think Phil was inferring he said he was going to get his wife to enter as well, and we were like, no, that's for Vita. If she wins that's not Jim's. Jim wants to pay her $1,000, she can, but she might want to sell it, so. We have Brick Artemis in here, the Spider-Man super fan. Who's bullying Vita? Definitely wasn't me. We can get rid of them. We can remove them from the chat. Actually, I'm pretty sure Vita's well able to stand up for herself. Would that be correct, Jim? I can't hear you, but I'm pretty sure he's nodding.
Yeah, she could stand up for herself 100%.
No doubt. Good stuff. All right. Let's take a look at something. Ian, what do you think? What you want to kick this off with?
Let's see. Let's go straight in with May the 4th be with you.
All right. So for May the 4th, just I didn't give the guys a lot of notice. I gave them no notice on this one. Absolutely zero. But it was basically what May the 4th predictions, Star Wars announcements do you predict? Now, there's a tendency with this, like, if you want to give your wishful thinking, that's perfectly fine. But like realistically, we'll see if we can get some predictions. Maybe if you want to outline what do you think Hot Toys will announce for May the 4th 2025, that's what we're looking at. But if you want to go, look, this one might be an outside shot, but it's more wishful thinking, or if you actually want to go, no, I think this is what's actually going to happen. Would anyone like to go first? Go, Phil.
Okay, so after today's little Cos Baby thing announcement, I think we may get an Ewok or two, maybe a 2-pack Ewok. Still think we're going to get a Leia, so that could be May the 4th, and Doku.
Oh, you think Doku's coming?
Well, yeah, isn't there one of the anniversaries coming up this year as well, and I know it's quite sought after.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. So.
Revenge of the Sith. I see they're bringing it back into cinemas and giving away like a Matt Ferguson poster. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, it does look pretty good, yeah.
So your predictions are a Dooku, Revenge of the Sith, Rolling Eyes, that kind of a jazz. Some sort of a Leia. Would it be a what? It probably wouldn't be.
I
No,
don't
what
know.
would it be?
I wouldn't like to hazard a guess because I thought they would have given us the Bespin Han and they did the Return of the Jedi. So it's well, just when you think they go in with some sort of anniversary, they just throw in something random. So
Didn't they tease a Leia? Some sort of like an Empire Strikes Back Leia. Was it in the Chewie photos or something like that?
I think it was, but was that new?
I don't know. It kind of looked a bit like it looked like a bit like the hot Leia or something, just without the jacket. With the jacket and the hot Leia is probably the coolest part. Like, you know. Okay, there's some. They could happen because they do that Cos Baby thing where they put up their Hot Toys Cos Baby announcements, and a lot of time it does translate. I know in Collecting Weekly, Ben Thomas said that, and I think as a lot of the panel disagreed with him, but I'm Team Ben on that one. I think it happens quite a lot. You know, something goes up for pre-order and you look back and it's cause babies. It's not an exact science, obviously, but I think there's a decent enough hit rate on that. So plus Dooku's a 2.0 and we know they love a good 2.0. Anyone else want to go?
I'll go.
Go on.
Right. I think they'll release finally Baze. They brought
Good shout.
the range troopers out of Limbo, so I think they'll do him. I'll go for Saw Gerrera, another rogue one. I think it's too big an actor not to get in there, particularly with Andor Season 2. He's in that, so I think that. And since they done the do-back, I'll say Jabba the Hutt.
Right, there's some big how realistic? Which one do you think is realistic? Do you think they're all realistic, or are they just wishful thinking?
I would put, if I was a betting man, I would be saying Baze. I genuinely believe that he'll come. That'll come.
I think we'll get that within the next week.
Yeah.
Baze.
Yeah, Baze. And then if I was to rank it, Baze, Jabba the Hutt, and Saw Gerrera.
Yep. Phil said that Baze thing with a lot of confidence. Maybe he has a guy on the inside, you know?
Yeah, I wish. No, it's
Insider
just
knowledge.
you've got Andor
Yeah.
and you've
Nice.
got Star Wars Celebration, and they've just released, well, not released, but announced Andor. I don't know. And Baze, everyone's been screaming for Baze since Rogue One, probably more than for Andor, to be honest.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, sorry, Jose. I didn't realize I actually skipped you. Apologies. Thanks very much for being here. So he is Jose G. Hernandez, channel member, has been a panel member in the past, has an open invite, but he's got to work to pay for the plastic crack addiction, and he's wielder of the blue wrench. So behave yourselves. And Vita, it's funny. Jose's like, did you skip me? And Vita was like, we're not friends anymore. Man, you're getting the heat there, Jose. I want a 2.0 hot Leia, which can be swapped into a Bespin Leia. Geo needs a Leia. I predict more clones with slightly different paint and Vader variant. Speaking of clones, you said clones, and of course Ryan pops in. Then did I miss the 1989 Batmobile giveaway? Phil, when is that taking place? You're giving that away, aren't you? No, you didn't miss that at all. What else? Who else am I looking at? So we've got sculpted Anakin for Revenge of the Sith, multiple head sculpts. I'll be real. I'll be really, really sad if we get a Chancellor Palpatine, because although he's my most wanted for them to make, I just have in the morning and bought a sideshow Chancellor. Did Sideshow do a Chancellor? Didn't know that.
I think they did.
As in, did
Yeah,
they?
I think they did. Yeah.
Quite a long time ago, because they did
Right.
quite a few random characters.
Good stuff. Just on that note there, I do think, like, I feel that every year we go, oh my god, May 4th, lads, May 4th, oh, May 4th, it's going to be wild. Clone 2.0 reissue. So manage the expectations and all that. I think the last good one was C-3PO, because everyone wanted a C-3PO, and it was a one from the original trilogy. That's what we wanted. But if you think about it, a lot of the summer showcase and a lot of the May 4th announcements, they're kind of like different versions of figures we have already. Like, look, dial the clock back 2 years ago to 2023. Fantastic Return of the Jedi Vader. Arguably the best, or one of the best Vaders we ever got. But still, it was a Vader, and there's umpteen versions of them. And the C-3PO, while it was like a wild one that everyone really wanted, and I was delighted with both of those announcements. I was waiting for a Vader. And we got the C-3PO we wanted, an original trilogy one, you know? And there's some people who still are holding out for a New Hope one or whatever. But it's still, they had just previously announced a Attack of the Clones version. So again, it's kind of like a repaint of the same mold. So with that in mind, I do think we're going to get a Revenge of the Sith Anakin. And I do think it's going to be branded Revenge of the Sith, and it will have a blue lightsaber. And there's two ways it can go. They can literally do the Artisan Limited thing. I think everyone is thinking now they're probably going to give us the Revenge of the Sith, because they did have that little remember the way they put up that video announcing the licenses they had? They had like Fantastic Four, and they had Revenge of the Sith 20 year anniversary, whatever it is. Is it 20 or 25? Revenge of the Sith, it's 20, isn't it? That was 2005, I think. Yeah, 20. So, like, it would make sense. It would be kind of it would kind of be predictable, as in it's yeah, fine. They're marking the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary. They're also marking May the 4th, but it's also a figure we've seen before. So what people probably expect is Revenge of the Sith sculpted hair Anakin, non-limited, because they've cashed in twice now in the Artisan version. However, we all know that, like, when we think they're going to zig, they zag, as Marco will say, and as I will say, this is the company that released Pennywise at Christmas, so it's hard to predict, because they often do the thing which is not the right thing to do, whatever. Maybe it is for them. So one of my predictions is that they're going to give us a Revenge of the Sith Anakin. It may be Artisan, maybe sculpted, or maybe they actually do what they're doing on a lot of the other Artisans, giving us the Artisan sculpted version, and then it will actually keep everyone happy, because the ones that want to get the limited Artisan one can go for that, and then the one for the sculpted, bang, done. Second thing, I agree with Phil on the Ewoks. Because it's simple. They've done Ewoks before, and there's no actor's likeness, right? So it's the kind of type of laziness we would expect from the company. But maybe they give us we'll look at that later on, but that post wasn't just, it went through it was a group photo of the Ewoks, and then it went through every individual one with the names and Wicket and all that kind of stuff, and that into the baby Ewoks. So they might actually do that. So I think that's a kind of a realistic thing. And the third one, I'm going to have a little think about it. I had one earlier on, but I've forgotten it, so I'm going to go to the lads first, and then I'll come back. And so, what do you think, Jim?
So, I mean, I also had put on my list, I was thinking Baze, because they've shown him off before. Right, but I'm also thinking it's probably likely that we're going to see some more Andor or Rogue One stuff. I still reckon we'll see another Galen Erso. I reckon that's potential. 2.0 of Krennic is likely as well, I think. And for my third one, I'm going to put Padawan Obi-Wan, just because I'm going to die on that hill. I just really want that Phantom Menace Obi-Wan. So those are mine. And Jar Jar. I reckon Jar Jar could be done as well.
A lot of people are saying Jar Jar. Philly is saying, I guess, is Dooku. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I reckon Anakin, potentially they'll hold off on that until the Episode 3 anniversary. I reckon if they want to kind of sparse these things out.
That's in the summer, I think, isn't it? I think it's the summer.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. So they might do that. But I suppose May the 4th is a slightly larger event, so it's hard to tell when they'll do what they'll do.
I do think we're going to get an Andor branded Andor, but I could actually see that happening in the summer showcase, because they often are just different versions of figures they've made already, so where they can reuse the same body, the same sculpt, they change the outfit or a few accessories or whatever. They'll probably just change his hair, because his hair is different from Andor and Rogue One. But yeah, Yeah, I can see it. See it. It's funny because there's a lot less stuff coming up. There's May 4th, then there's Revenge of the Sith Anniversary, then there's the Summer Showcase.
Yeah.
Like, I do think we are going to see an Andor branded Andor at some stage, and a Luton. I do think those two are coming. Okay, again, I have no inside information. I'm not going to shy on and pretend I do. I have nothing. I just think it makes sense, but then again, a lot of time, this company, nothing makes sense what they actually do. What about yourself, Dave? What do you think could actually potentially be announced for May 4th?
Well, my entire list was built on Padawan Obi-Wan, and that's all been dashed now. I'm not original anymore. Let's see. But I do think, it could be the year.
Fingers crossed, man. I would love to see it.
Yeah, they just did that friggin' concept mall, and that, should have happened in that same, potentially in that same movie. So maybe they could be thinking more about, that era. Maybe since they do like 2.0s, maybe a new Qui-Gon.
Good.
With rooted hair. Let's do with the weave, the glue weave.
The glued hair. Maybe a glued beard.
Yeah. But what would be a third? I suppose if not Padawan Obi-Wan, then maybe mullet Obi-Wan. Because that's another one they could put the artisan label on. Why not? Sure. But what I really want to see, Slave Leia.
Yeah.
I think I'd do that.
Best of luck. I would absolutely, in fairness, everyone's going to buy that. It just, yeah, I think it's just a bit step too far for Disney, really, to be honest. But
Yeah.
And even if they branded it Prisoner Leia, I think it's just because of the outfit's just too racy. Pardon?
Is it worse? Prisoner Leia worse than Slave Leia?
Hut Slayer.
Like naming words? They both have connotations, right? Anyway.
They could just call her Princess Leia, Return of the Jedi, problem solved, bang, bang, bang. Do you know? But there's just it's just, I suppose, because of the outfit being a bit revealing, they're just probably not going to do it. So. Yeah. What about yourself, Bob? Any ideas? What do you think they might actually?
I'm trying to think if it's usually they do they have a good year, don't they, when they surprise us, and then the following year is a letdown. It just seems to alternate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we're due a good year or a bad year. I think it was quite good last year, but I'd love them to do an Admiral Akbar. I'd love them to do a Rancor. There's some massive characters that they've never gone near. I'd like a Mon Mothma of some sort, because I just think I quite like the old Leia, as we should say, that sort of regal look, and I think they could do that character really well.
Which one was that? Sorry, the old Leia.
Is it The Last Jedi with the blue purple robes?
Oh right, as in the one where she was flying around in space, Leia.
Yeah.
That was a low point.
But
yeah.
I think the figure, the head's got good praise because it's a slightly older.
But it did. But all of them did. The Luke, the Han Solo, and the Leia were all highly acclaimed. But it's kind of they do better with older people. Really, just more wrinkles and stuff.
I think a Mon Mothma would make a really good figure.
Yeah,
either from the Andor or the sort of earlier one. But yeah, for me, I've always wanted an Akbar, but I don't know how they would stop it looking like a cheap toy, because how do you build quality into that sculpt? I don't know.
Nah, Akbar in the chair, man, that'd be epic.
I mean, the eyes could be awesome, couldn't they?
Yeah, Mitchell Lawrence says this Luton is a day one for me. Well, in that case.
And what do you sacrifice?
Calm. kindness, kinship, love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless space. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight, they've set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I look down, there's no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything!
That has no business being that good.
The more I
Fuck me,
hear
man,
it,
what a show.
the more
What
I
a
hear
show.
that, the more I'm convinced he's Jedi.
Yeah, I think so too. I burn my life! Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely love it. The sequel trilogy. I've watched The Last Skywalker once. And I'd rather jump off the Empire State Building and land on a bike with no saddle than watch it again. That's the best way I could describe that. I thought Ian would appreciate it. So Figurecraft says, I've made my peace that version of Leia. I've made my peace with that version of Leia. I purchased a hot Leia head sculpt and modded to look like that version Leia. The slave Leia. Okay, so you made it. I actually, did you post any photos of that, Philly? Because I'd like to take a look at how it comes out, because I know how creative you are, and no doubt you did a great job on it. So, yeah, Mitchell, that one is just so bloody good, man. Just, I'm telling you, man. Copyright strike. Yeah, but you know, the thing is, like, they're fair enough. The copyright strikes, what I've noticed, usually only hits with music. Like, if I, like last week when I had the tribute to Val Kilmer, you know, I had Val Kilmer and his, you know, birth date and his date where he passed away, and I had the Top Gun theme in the back. You get struck for that very quickly. But they give you the option. They're fair. They can go, look, you can mute this if you want your video to be remonetized. It's not a copyright strike. Like, they'll literally say, this is not a copyright strike. It's just your video can't be monetized. But if you want to mute this audio or cut it out, you can. And they do it for you. You just click the option, they do it, and you just walk around. And next thing, a few hours later, it's remonetized. So, like, that's pretty fair, like, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, so it is an amazing monologue. If you haven't watched Andor, watch it. Watched this again, and it was fucking brilliant. Absolutely Dogito. I keep forgetting the streams earlier for me now. What a clip to join in on. Yeah, I'm glad you're watching. Thanks to the 53 people watching. Fiona Shaw, you were not wrong, man. A lot of the 3 of the actresses have Irish roots, I believe. Fiona Shaw, the girl who plays, is it Dedra Mira? And the woman who plays Mon Mothma, I think she's Irish Australian or something like that. Yeah.
Oh wow! Did not know that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Genevieve O'Reilly.
O'Reilly. Imagine, and she's ginger. It's like, obviously she. How do we crack that code? Fucking Sherlock Holmes here. Star Crash. Hey folks, I agree with you. Very bad Star Wars. Yeah, he's definitely not talking about Andor. And we got Pedro Lopez in here as well. And Figurecraft is gonna post some of those photos. Brilliant. Yeah, so I reckon you got an Anakin, some Ewoks, and I do think we're going to get an Andor, but I don't know if it's going to be May 4th or if it's going to be a summer showcase. But look, all the same. All right, should we move on? Phil?
K2SO.
K2SO, no problem. Okay. If you're just joining us, folks, we haven't talked about any figures yet, but we're going to talk about K2SO now. So this figure, it's the third time we've seen this, that is something like this. We saw the original K2SO, which skyrocketed in the aftermarket branded Rogue One. Of course, K2SO is a kind of reformed, reprogrammed, defected Imperial Enforcer droid, and then we saw the KX Enforcer droids as part of the Knight of 1,000 tier. It was either episode 5 or 6 of Book of Boba Fett. Remember, it was one of the better ones. Same droid essentially, but labeled KX Enforcer droid. Great scene too. And then this one here now is branded, interestingly, Andor Season 2. It's actually branded Andor, but I do mention it's from Season 2 because he wasn't in Season 1. Yes, Andor did get arrested by one of these KX Enforcer droids. Highly unlikely that was actually K2SO, although if it really was, and I presume we're going to learn about K2SO and how he gets reprogrammed and how he gets involved in the Rebel Alliance and stuff like that, but it would be really cool. It'd be highly unlikely that it's the exact same droid that arrested him, but it'd be funny because it's his sense of humor, like, oh, I remember arresting you. That's something you could completely say. This is $265, and it is due for release this year in Q4 2025, Q1 2026, because of course we've seen it multiple times already. So go for it, Phil. What do you think?
Yeah, I've always wanted a K2SO. I mean, I wanted the original, but obviously the prices were silly
Same.
money, man. So I ordered the KX Enforcer because I did like the base that it came with as well, because I think it had like the Mandalorian helmets on there from that scene. Very sort of Terminator kind of scene. So I ordered that with our friends at Toys Wonderland a few years back, and obviously that all fell through.
These bastards.
Go on.
So yeah, I was really pleased to see this, and the photographs with him displayed with, well, Jyn Erso and with Andor. It's a must. Might as well be a 2-pack because I'm getting them both. Look amazing.
Good stuff.
I like the LED light ups. They are movable. I think, Jim, you were in a stream on the weekend when you were questioning about the maneuverability of the eyes, but I'm almost sure in Rogue One they do move. I'm almost sure they do.
In the Rogue One figure?
In the movie Rogue One.
Oh, in the film, yeah.
I'm sure those lenses move, so yeah. As bizarre
Because
as
this is the first time we've seen it with USB powered. But I did notice it had separate rolling eyeballs function. I thought that was funny because they're just lights really. But so in Rogue One, you reckon they actually move?
I'm convinced when he's sort of looking. Obviously, it does look down to everybody because of his sheer size. But I'm sure those lenses move.
So you're getting both. You've already pre-ordered K2SO and Andor.
Yeah.
So what do I sacrifice?
Everything.
Okay, so beans and toast for you for a while.
100%.
Prices aren't bad.
Yeah, they're not on these actually. I was surprised.
Like we've been
I thought
price
that'd be-
conditioned to think that 275 is acceptable, but like
Probably.
275, 265, like this is 265, Andor's 275. Andor's brand new, pretty much everything, and like no limited queue system to worry about. Just the two good releases, even though it's the third time we've seen K2SO. But
I am intrigued to know as to whether there's die-cast, because I'm sure the previous two models had die-cast in them, in the legs.
why would they
doesn't-
change it? Like it's coming out this year. It's coming out this year, which means they've already have the parts anyway. We knew that. I'd say it's the very same.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, maybe it's because what's die-cast these days? We got artisan now, so perhaps it's second fiddle or something.
Yeah. What? Anyone else want to come in on this? Anyone else pre-ordered this already, or is inevitably going to pre-order it?
I'm trying to not, but I'm tempted, to be honest. Because the dilemma is, if I was to pre-order this, I would be pre-ordering Andor as well. So I couldn't see a situation where I got this and not Andor, just because then he would be on his own, which for me, I wouldn't like it. And there's a twosome, like that could be pretty much your whole Rogue One situation Andor situation kind of done.
True.
I think together as a
100%.
pairing, because I probably wouldn't go back to get Jin or the other guys. And I don't know if I'd want to commit that much to one thing, you know, that much of my like collecting budget, shall we say. But this looks so damn good. And I imagine it must be die cast at least on the legs because he's quite top heavy otherwise. So
I think it's the same die cast joints as the last one. So
I reckon so.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing there. Like, I mean, I like the Rogue One. Rogue One's fantastic. Like, you know, it's one of the top 4 best Star Wars movie ever made. It wouldn't surprise me if someone said it was their favorite one. It's a great movie, yada yada. But like, I haven't gone down the Rogue One line. The reason I'm looking over my shoulder is because I'm trying to figure out. I know I do have, because I collect troopers. I think I've got. Let me see. One Shore Trooper, the original Shory, was branded Rogue One, and I have an Assault Tank Commander, which is also branded Rogue One. So I don't have a Rogue One line, I have a Troopers line, so 2 of them happen to be from Rogue One, but it's not something I was kind of like, right, it's pretty much OT for me. But yeah, I'm not going to go down the Rogue One line. That's why I'm kind of like, it would have suited me a lot better if they just did an Andor branded Andor. And I might have been okay with just Andor. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about him when the time comes. But did you have another point to make on that, Jim, or can I ask someone else? Or
no, that's pretty much all I have.
Ian, are you keen? Ian?
Well, I have the original that's over there. Ooh. And it is very sturdy. The joints, they're on the legs, the ratchet, it's really stiff. It's a really good figure. I don't see the need to get this pot just for the LED eyes. Does not bother me. I've kind of got them posed side on the back, and it kind of bothers me where the USB connection would be in terms of displaying it. So I've got Jin standing in front of K2SO, and I've got a feeling when you look at the design of it, it'll be on the lower back at the spine. I think that's where it will be plugged in. So it might limit how you display the figure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
but
I suppose that's the trade-off, really, isn't it?
For the price, I think this is a fantastic price because it's it's a big figure, and I love it. It's a great figure, but I just don't see the need for this if I've got the original.
Yeah, neither would I. I 100%. Like, maybe the KX Enforcer droid if you really wanted the K2SO, but like, yeah, I wouldn't upgrade either if I had the original K2SO. Who else wants to? Anyone else? I think Dave, you're in a kind of a battle of wills, aren't you? You're kind of like, I want them, but you're dialing things back and being more selective. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that I would have definitely been ordering this, but the Wolverines and the Deadpools and the X-Men are coming, and so are higher shipping costs. so I would love to have this in Andor, and I would love to have them on a shelf with Han and Chewie, because I want them to meet so badly. I want to see that. But I may still be canceling my Han and Chewie, so we don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah,
tough decisions ahead of you, man. Tough decisions.
It is, but you know, my goal is X-Men. So as long as I can keep going there, I'm good.
Yeah, that's your true north, as you said. It's a good way of putting it. Good stuff, yeah.
But man, it's nice.
Yeah. Who else did Bob? Are you the only one who hasn't weighed in on this, or gone? Or?
Yeah, I'm on the verge of pre-ordering it. I've share Ian's concerns about the USB, because some of the poses I've seen, he does look good, kind of turned to the side or looking over his shoulder. I've also seen a nice picture, one of the photos of him with Cassian, and I think the yellow rings on his shoulders there look really cool next to the yellow patch on Cassian's jacket on his so they do work really well together. But I'd be grateful if Ian or somebody could tell me how tall he is, because I've got my
36 centimeters.
Yeah.
36.
Yep.
I'll say
30,
he'll fit.
30
He'll fit.
36 centimeters.
That's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will probably pre-order him tomorrow.
Yeah, they look great together, I gotta say.
Yeah, like the yellow. I love the yellow.
Yeah.
Them up on that last shot. I know it's only a tiny thing, but that's the sort of thing that excites me about my display.
It breaks it up. It really breaks it up. Like on both figures, like on him, it's just two rings of yellow rings. It just
all it is.
works really well.
It pops, doesn't it?
It does. It's just those little touches in design which makes a difference. He'd be a bit plainer. I wonder, does the KX Enforcer droid has? I assume they're all the same, like, but what the original K2SO? I'd imagine they all have it, but it looks great. Yeah, like this is I've got a price for this and for Andor Offline Rock, and I've already told them I haven't pre-ordered. I had my pre-order list with them down to like 5. My total pre-orders of 7, and there's a few things which basically are inevitable that I was going to pre-order, like TIE Fighter Pilot, the clean T800, and one or two others that I'm just going to do an order all at once, and get the deposits paid. But yeah, this is a good day. Yeah, happy with this. Has anyone watched The Last of Us Season 2, folks? I believe it started last night. I have not. No spoilers, folks. But has anyone on the panel given the first episode of Season 2 of The Last of Us a watch?
Not yet. I'll probably wait for a few episodes to come out first.
Yeah.
Or maybe the entire season. I did that with the original. Yeah. I watched them all in one sitting.
Has anyone of you guys played the games?
No. Yes. I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay. So those of us that do probably know what is to come, but it should be a good season.
I know exactly what I know what happens, because fuck the internet. But yeah, look, it's on me. The game has been out for ages. Yeah, the game has been out for ages. I don't like that's kind of, some things are fair game. Like I think if a movie's been out for, I'm not going to put an exact time limit on it, or like even if a movie's been out for a few months, it's like, come on, if you wanted to go see it, you would have gone seen it. Like, you don't be cribbing. But no, I haven't watched it. But Boba Fettuccine says K2SO is a no-brainer for me, but I am waiting to see if there's other versions of Rogue One Cassian in the works, and what other, if any, Rogue One figures be announced. I think Baze could be Baze's day, and we know Galen is coming. I'm the opposite then. I want to see the actual Andor branded stuff, because I know that K2SO was branded Andor, and people were speculating, no, maybe they're going to be doing more stuff from Andor, but I just don't think that's. I think it's more, we want to capitalize on the Andor hype. We're releasing an Andor, maybe he'll sell more if we have a little companion piece, because they do look great together. Maybe throwing a Jin there. We can't really brand it Rogue One again and be the same thing. They'll see right through it. They could do it, but anyway. We've already branded one Book of Boba Fett and it was essentially the same thing. Yeah, let's just brand it Andor. But I don't think there's any guarantee that we'll get any more Andor season figures. I hope there is. I think there will be, but like, wasn't that like a Jedi Survivor game with Cal Kestis, and there's no Cal Kestis, there was just a Scout Trooper, and I think there was a Purge Trooper or something like that as well, maybe, but so yeah, they have those have the molds or whatever. Mike says, I have a KX, such a great design and figure. Hey Mike, I'm looking forward to streaming with you again. I think he couldn't join us today, he was working. You gotta pay those bills, but it is great that you're joining us. You're here in spirit, in the chat. Pedro Lopez is here as well.
Do you think the licensing cost outweighs what they may profit from for things like Andor, because there's not so many creatures and troopers and what have you? Like Star Wars, they can knock troopers out all day long and people will pay for it. And I suppose there's no likeness rights to Darth Vader. There is to Sebastian Stan underneath. But do you think that's why you don't get...
I'd imagine it's I don't know how it works, and I'm not going to pretend to know, but I'd imagine you're right. Once there's a face of someone, it costs extra money in one way or another. So yeah, I think you're right in the money there. That's why I was saying like the troopers, the droids, the Ewoks, the aliens, the non-human figures, like, you know, they're probably a bit easier to show off or to produce. Okay, right. I'm just gonna do some basics here. So, folks, if you're just joining us, there are 53 people watching live. This is episode 80 of The Hope Show. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Consider becoming a channel member. Leave a comment. Get involved in the chat. There's 4,651 subscribers. And, yeah, hopefully on our way to 5K at some point over the summer. Channel members, there's 2 tiers. We've got the troopers. The troopers are Yomo, Shiny, Lieutenant Weenus, Big Rib, The Ben Thomas Show, Caffeinated Comic Fan, Dogito, Stanley, Vita, Tiny Art Guy, Figurecraft, Blurred Dad Life, 1/6 Shooter, Figures and Fandom, Howard Potts, Ian, aka H and Silver Fox, Jose G. Hernandez, Brian Wong, Eddie Money Mendez, Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Mike Litters, and we also have Ryan Smith. Then we have the Commanders tier, and they have their YouTube handle displayed at the end of the content like this. Thank you to both. New videos. My video on the release reaction thoughts to the Artisan Anakin Skywalker, which, yes, we are giving away. My reaction to the announcement of the Artisan Darth Vader. And, of course, my reaction to Andor and K2SO. You're going to get some of it, the condensed version of it here live. So obviously we're continuing on with the Artisan Anakin Skywalker giveaway. The date is to BC. Whenever Sideshow send it out, I will give you plenty of notice and tell you exactly what day and date or what episode number on the Hope Show will be given away. How you enter, really, really simple. You do one of the following. Super chat on any live stream. Super thanks on any video, or be a member on the night of the giveaway. You don't have to do all 3, just do one of them and you're in. YouTube logs all of this, so far all the people on the left there are in because they've super chatted. People on the right there are in because they've super thanks in the video, and of course the channel members. It's gonna be about 100 ducks, and I think we might have to do heats. I think it'd be fun if we did like 25 ducks and took the winner, another 25 duck took the winner, did 4 25 duck races, and then the winner of each of them, the 4 ducks who win, then we put them in a head-to-head just to build it up a bit and see who is the ultimate duck and where the person lives. And yeah, so there we go. Right, we're back here again. Bob, what would you like to talk about?
How about Anakin?
Anakin, okay. I'll get Anakin ready for you. No problem at all. First question. We don't have a price for this, folks. Is anyone going to actively pursue this?
I saw one for sale on eBay tonight for £1,400.
What was that on?
On eBay. Saying
so
the chap was going at the weekend.
Yeah.
He might get 2. Did you see that?
See, I saw it. I think it was, what was it? Toys on Fire was £850.
£850, correct.
I think maybe Jeremy Casa was. He usually puts up on his Facebook page a post saying put +1 underneath this thread if you're interested. But we don't have a price on this, and we know that £1,400 or £850 or $1,000 isn't going to be the official price. And obviously, I know you're not suggesting it would be. This would probably be, I think it was, not 65,000 yen. I gotta check that out.
In that store it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, let me just check this now, because I know if it's around $4 something. All right, so if we go, I think I saw, you know, the little labels they have there.
Yeah. Correct,
so 65,000 yen.
65,000.
Oh, really?
Is it less? Is it 400 and something?
No, I don't think it's £650.
Less than that.
It's €400 on the button. 65,000 Japanese yen is €400 on the... That makes sense, because you're buying it at source, you know?
Pounds, yeah.
Yeah, so like 400 euro, whatever, that's what you'd be paying if you were there. Yeah, so like, I mean, that's what, if you're in Star Wars Celebration, you can get your hand on this. I think is there 1,500 of these at, or 1,500 in Japan Star Wars Celebration, and 1,000 then worldwide.
1,000 outside, yeah.
Yeah. But is anyone actually thinking about seriously considering, you know, selling a kidney and getting one of these?
I mean, I'm going to try and sideshow, but I'm not paying that that amount. I mean, even I saw Pop had it up, and theirs was about $7.50, but then that's without shipping, right? So, as we know, Pop are a bit expensive in that area, so it's around the same as probably what Toys on Fire was offering. It's just too much, to be quite honest, for this figure, because apart from the hair and the sculpt, he doesn't come with a £650 or 850 pounds amount of
no
features.
The value's not there,
you know,
the price and the value, two different things. They're not. You're right, like this is just one of those exclusives. It's not canon. He has a red lightsaber. He never wielded a red lightsaber. It's not branded Revenge of the Sith. It's not branded Ahsoka. It's just a throwaway kind of a, you know what, we have the head sculpt. We can do the artisan's hair again. Okay, the hair is kind of similar, whatever. And the sculpt is different, though. That's what throws me a bit. I'm thinking maybe this is the sculpt they're going to use for the inevitable Revenge of the Sith branded Dark Side Anakin, the official Dark Side Anakin, not Darth Vader. And they already have the sculpt there, and we go, you know what, we'll just milk this a bit more. We'll get some of the artisan hair, we'll slap it on, we'll give him some Sith eyes, we'll give him something a bit different. It won't be like a base that's environmental base that is Revenge of the Sith themed. It's just some generic yoke and a red lightsaber. And look, we'll sell another 2,500 of these and make a bit of money. Sure, look, they're inevitably going to buy the Revenge of the Sith Dark Side Anakin when we release it, whether it's artisan or sculpted. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the sculpt, this is, if there is a Revenge of the Sith Dark Side Anakin, this is the sculpt you're going to get.
Yeah, I agree.
What's their game plan like? I presume they're just milking any bit out of the artisan hair.
I mean, they'd
they
be
can
crazy
or whatever.
not to do a more general release, right? I mean, I think that's pretty much what everyone's saying, because he'd be a big ticket item or a highly purchased item for most people. So
he will.
But it is
sell.
confusing, the two sculpts. The two sculpts is confusing. Did they have two potential in R&D when they were designing the initial figure, and maybe they've like?
But I think it's
decided to push them out?
exactly what I've just said. I think they have. This is the sculpt you're going to get. They knew they were going to do a dark side. They wanted to make it slightly different, and they have this sculpt ready. They were designing them like they know when they're doing the light side that everyone knew they're going to do a dark side. We haven't seen it yet, but I reckon if they do, or should I say when they do a dark side Anakin, whether it's sculpted or whether it's a limited release artisan with artisan rooted hair, whatever, this will probably be the sculpt you get. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you think this is the proto we're seeing, or do you reckon this is?
No,
released?
I think this is. That's a good point. I originally thought, well, look, this
someone
is,
else brought this up.
Yeah, it's a good point, because my original train of thought was like, okay, say Deadpool, the battling version, 300 of them were released very quickly. We saw the blogger photos, and like a week later, bang, they were shipping, or 300 of them were, and we saw the release images, and the sculpts were the same. There was no drop in quality. It didn't seem to be anyway. From my eyes, were like the head sculpt was strong in the proto, the head sculpt was strong in the blogger photos. So it was almost like the blogger, or it was almost like the prototype photos. They were the exact same figure as the blogger images. Whereas this here, like, yeah, I think it's going to look like this, to be honest, for two reasons. Number one, the prototype images from the artisan Anakin Skywalker, the light side, the one that I'm giving away, the prototype images were so goddamn strong. It was one of the best prototype head sculpts I'd ever seen, but there was a significant drop in the actual product. Whereas this doesn't blow me away as much as the prototype for the light side Anakin, which leaves me to believe that this is a more realistic idea, I think these are ready. I think they were probably making them at the same time as they were making the light side Anakin, having them ready to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyone getting this? Anyone going to try? Jim's going to try in Sideshow. Is anyone else going to try?
Nope. Don't need this.
I'm going to try, not for myself though.
Sorry, you're trying for someone else who's interested.
Yeah. But I think you're going to, if you don't snag one at a Sideshow price or have you, I think you're going to kick yourself if you pay silly money for this, because as you said, they're going to rebrand it as Revenge of the Sith. You're going to get another version of it in a couple of months, or announcement in a couple of months. I know you'll probably have to wait potentially, but I just think you're going to kick yourself if you pay $850, $1,000, whatever for this. I think
it's a few figures, isn't it? At that point.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
you're not just getting in the queue for the sake of getting in the queue, though, Phil. Like, you have someone who wants this, and you're gonna essentially sort them out. Yeah, that's 100%. Like, yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, I'm not scalping. I mean,
yeah. Oh look, I don't care if you are. You're my friend.
No.
I won't be buying it off you.
I'm not that guy. The only figure that I've ever had that's actually gained any sort of value, I think, is the Crosshair. You know, I don't collect for that, and you know, I don't. Yeah, but
why did they never make a higher denomination than yen? It would be like if the US price. I'd say that's to do with inflation.
I think he means why is it 650,000 yen as opposed to 650 yen? Why is the yen?
Well, but it might have started off at most currencies start off as a higher value and then they just drop. Like there's Argentinian pesos or whatever they are. They're worth so little. People, if you go to, I think it's Argentina, you can go there and you can buy these wallets, and the wallets are actually made out of the currency because it's not worth anything. Like, but I presume when they, a lot of currencies, their graphs are basically straight down.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same as the euro, isn't it? Before, a lot of European countries went into the euro, pesos, francs, and what have you. Some of those used to be ridiculous.
There was a time when the euro was a lot stronger than the dollar. I think it's neck and neck now, or has the dollar slightly better now? But yeah, I'm going to flick through some of these photos anyway. So like, no one's really interested. A few people are Jim's going to try.
Don't get me wrong. I love the figure, and I am interested in the figure, but I'm not willing to pay silly money. I'm going to hold out. Something's definitely going to come later in the year. But
yeah, I'd be very surprised if they either don't just do a straight up limited dark side artisan Anakin with the proper environmental base, or some sort of environmental Revenge of the Sith themed base and the blue lightsaber. This actually does come with a blue lightsaber too, though. It doesn't have it. It's interesting. I think that looks like shit. That's just stupid. That's just like what we do. I was just 3D print a semicircle, bit of an imperial cog in it, and then I don't.
Isn't it kind of a Japanese design? Like architecture type thing.
Yeah, I just whatever it is, I don't think it looks good. And then you have you got the separate rolling eyeballs function, the LED light up function powered by USB. I don't think the blue one's not here, but it does say it on a Hot Toys site. But the blue one I don't think is USB powered. And 1 second, bit of a side tangent. Sorry, bear with me, folks. There's method in my madness. I just have to show you something here. Just please bear with me. I'm just taking a while to load up, and we're getting there. So I just want to show you something that I noticed. Do you know the way this is actually come with a blue lightsaber, but only the red lightsaber is lit up? And you know the way the artisan Anakin, the light side one, came with a Dooku, but only his own lightsaber actually lit up, yeah? So, can you see this on the screen now, yeah?
Yeah.
Grievous, yeah.
Can you see what I'm seeing there?
Well, that's a good point.
All four of them are USB powered. but yet they didn't actually give the. I mean, unless I'm looking at this wrong, no, there's 4 of them. There's 4 cables. You can see the 4 cables too, yeah?
Yeah.
So all 4 of them are USB powered, but they couldn't give the Dooku one to Anakin. And it's like, it's not as if he used them separately. He had the 2 of them in his hand at one stage in the movie, didn't he? That's how he decapitated.
Yeah.
Pardon?
They probably got 4 cables, but
They probably what?
I was going to say they've probably got 4 cables, but only one box to plug it into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Vader.
Yeah. That could happen. Yeah. So look, it's I think this is a strange one, but look, they will sell out. They will be crazy on the aftermarket, but yeah, I won't be chasing this one. Like, I mean, part of me is tempted to jump in the queue and then if I get it, do another giveaway. But at the same time, I think people would rather, if they do, let's say during the summer or whatever, they do an Artisan Dark Side. I think people would prefer that as a giveaway because it's canon. But yeah, anyone have anything else they'd like to say on this?
Nope.
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah, just slightly disappointed, isn't it?
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. There's no way they don't do a Dark Side Anakin properly. 50 people watching, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, leave a comment, tell us where you are. Right, do you want to talk about that Spider-Man? I'm gonna go downstairs and get a beer, and I don't want to talk about the Spider-Man, so maybe you can talk about that while I go.
Go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Comfort break.
Yeah. So I'll okay, so I'll share the tab here, and so there you have the Tom Hardy symbiote attached to the Bully Maguire. I'm just going to flick through some of these photos. Is there any particular one you'd like me to leave this on?
No.
Don't all rush.
Yeah.
Any one will do.
Whichever one triggers Dave.
Oh gosh.
I was going to say Dave could lead this one, I think. Dave loves some Tom Hardy Spider-Man, Venom on Tobey Spider-Man, doesn't he?
I saw that Tom Hardy Venom today in person for the first
sorry, I'm not even
time.
sharing this. What a moron. Sorry, I'm being a moron.
I didn't realize. I mean, I knew that was a big figure, but geez, that's a big figure. But oh, look at that thing.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to see him sort of in real life to appreciate, haven't you? Because I remember in Florida last year in one of the Disney parks, they had all the Marvel Hot Toys in a display case. Obviously, I don't have a lot of them. And I'm surprised how good a lot, this Black Widow, Loki, figures that I don't have, but how good they looked in a display. So sometimes I think you've got to actually see the figure to appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd like to rebuild my Marvel collection at some point, to be fair. I used to have more, but I need to... I've got the Groot and Rocket, man, and now it's given me that itch again to get more Marvel in the collection, other than Deadpool. But I can't. I need to just back off. It's so tempting.
Did this Venom head come with one of the Tom Hardy Venoms?
It looks similar to one of them. Maybe the video games. It looks quite large.
No, so I've got the Venom, and it's got all the tendrils, and there's one head, or no, there's 2 heads on it. This one looks quite big. I've not got it displayed with it all out. It's up there somewhere.
That's why I wonder if it's from the video game one. Because that's similar look, isn't it? Or is it not?
I can't recall.
No, because I never went in for that one, because it's pretty huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously all not screen accurate, but I still, taking that all aside, the head sculpt and how that looks, I actually like this. I don't like the mask look, it's another shit show. But yeah, I think it looks great. I think you could make a really cracking shelf from it. But
I see people, because Topo's going to do the suit he wears, right, in his infamous scene. So I reckon a lot of people will probably go in for that alongside this, just to have the two side by side. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. I think the expression they've gone with is brilliant on this one. I like it when they try something different with the expressions. It's really sort of brooding, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. It kind of reminds us of the scene where he's kind of really contemplating his life and kind of what he's turned into, right, before he gets rid of the suit.
Yeah.
I feel like they've taken some inspiration for the sculpt from that kind of a scene.
Because they don't often do brooding head sculpts. They kind of do a neutral one or an angry one, not really a...
But this is like Dark Side
try and
Tobey
make it more
Maguire Spider-Man,
generic.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like the Anakin and that, because Anakin, like, they've gone for a brooding sculpt there on the dark side one, and they've kind of gone for it. Even on the light side, he's a bit broody, but then that was kind of his MO in a Revenge of the Sith, just scowling all the time. No, I think this looks good. I do like the suit. I'm still with. I'd love to have a Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but I just don't think they've done a good enough job on a figure. And if I was to get one, I'd want the red suit. And I just hate how they did the red suit, especially with the neck. It just the eyesore. It is hidden better though, because I think they've still got that neck connector on this, but because it's black, it's a lot harder to see. From what I've seen on photos anyway.
Around it there, haven't you?
Yeah,
I've seen in the
that would
past
help.
when they make the symbiote stuff, they're very clever at making it just have enough friction to stay where you want it on the suit. Because it's
and you can put it on the base as well.
Picture. Yeah, and I found I had the Carnage and I had a Venom where I just found it was a really clever material. They kind of formed it in the right shapes, so it was quite versatile. But I didn't feel like it was ever really going to do any damage as well.
I found it hard to plug him in to the body, like on the Venom, like to pull him out. I found that quite challenging. That was stressful.
Yeah, that was quite scary. Yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah, it was. But the Venom was a good one. I like the magnetic neck connector and everything. It's the biggest disappointment on the new Darth Maul that I have is that stupid neck connector they use these days. Hate that.
That one didn't fit in the that didn't fit in the 110s very well. You had to have him like he looked like he was hunched over to fit him in. If anyone.
Yeah, you did. That's true.
He's a little bit too tall for a standard display, I think. But...
So while we're looking at large mouths with lots of teeth, was that yours display then, Ian? Is it behind you?
Yeah.
So good, Ian.
Oh yeah, yeah, I love that. It's I will be honest, it looks great, and I was speaking to Dan in Carbonite, so Dan's got it as well. The shelf, when you see it again, like anything else, it's better when you see it in person. It really is, but I would say it's not worth the money. And I'll tell you what as well, the shipping cost was shocking. For it is so light, it's really light, and it cost $160 to ship.
Oh my god.
Now when I'd done the Inbox Studio Tauntaun giveaway, that's heavy. That cost me £90 to ship to the States, and it's like 5-6 times the weight, easy. So
yeah, that's naughty, isn't it?
I did speak to the company and ask them to mark it down so there was no customs. But yeah, it's overpriced, but it's fantastic. It just works so well in the cinema room.
Did it come with those barrels, Ian? Because I thought they
no,
really set it
I
off.
actually got those from Etsy from somebody in Miami. So
okay, so that's an extra cost then.
Yeah, Shark City used to do them, but they stopped. But those make it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought they really made it. Yeah.
Yeah, and my shark teeth as well.
Yeah.
Good stuff, folks. So I left you here, I hung you out to dry there with this one, I think.
Stop talking about it now.
We struggled.
Yeah, I could still hear you. I thought you did really well. I just it's a hard figure to talk about, really. I mean, I've watched this movie once, and it was only
Once?
recently because, yeah, I grew up with the Tobey Maguire movies, but I'm just not a fan of Sam Raimi and not a fan of Tobey Maguire, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. This
That's
movie's
fair.
terrible. And the first two, like I watched the first two when I was younger, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, even like when they came out, I was like, I kind of cringed my way through them. It didn't land for me at all. And I know like Toby is a lot of people's guy, like, but I think maybe I'm supposed to like Tobey Maguire, but I actually prefer the Tom Holland. I prefer Tom Holland's rendition of Spider-Man, but that's probably based on the strength of the movies. Like, I mean, if you look at the caliber of movies he's in, you know, you have Civil War. I mean, you've Infinity War, Endgame. I really like Homecoming. Homecoming's divisive. I think a lot of people don't like Far From Home, but there was even aspects of Far From Home I really liked. But then, like, No Way Home is incredible. But like, so it's kind of like, I know the quality of the movie a lot of time kind of affects influences my, do I like the character or not, whatever. So anyway, look, I know Toby is a popular guy and everyone loves him, but like, the first two movies I watched and they weren't for me, so I didn't feel the need to watch this one because everyone said it was terrible, and then I watched it and I did find it highly entertaining though. I do. The Bully Maguire, like, I will go back and rewatch it again because it was funny, but that's not necessarily why I want to watch a Spider-Man movie, you know? I completely agree with Dave though. Like, the Tom Hardy Venom here has no business being here. What are they trying to do with it? I know that originally the body proportions weren't correct, and to be honest, I don't have the eye for this. It was obviously, you know, Riley and Nick, they put up Nick put up a comparison of what the body looked like in the prototype and then what the actual character looked like in the movie. And then when I saw the blogger photos, I kind of going, okay, they did actually broaden the shoulders more, and I think they fixed the shoulders in the core area, but I think it's the issue is the lenses and the seam line on the mask. But yeah, not for me, but it's for someone. All right, we'll move on. What do you want to do? Anything new this week?
No, sadly not.
Yep, I got Battling Deadpool, Ahsoka.
Oh,
and
got Battling.
we just talked about.
Did he come with croissants and garlic and a little beret? Did he? No.
No, he came over smelling lovely, and yeah, it's. I have got a story on that, but I got Jaws bust as well. But on the Battling Deadpool, the TVA portal backdrop had a couple of scratches on it.
Yeah.
And it annoyed me. So I thought, right, so I've got my scratch remover for Perspex. I'll put that on and rub it. Thingy that, and it left like a mask, so I got some cleaner. Wiped that off. The whole thing looks terrible. It's ruined. So.
Ah, no. So nothing worked.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I took a photo and sent you it privately, Shane, when I first opened it, and it looked fine, but so it's yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's burned into my retinas.
So,
no, I know the way. Yeah. Ian basically held up the diorama and flipped me the bird like while I was watching. It's like something wrong with this.
It was lit up.
Yeah. So did it? Is it fucked like?
Yeah, it doesn't look great. But what I'm maybe going to do is get Perspex frosting spray, and I think I can do a better job than what it actually came with. So I think I can do something with it and it'll look better. But yeah, so for anybody, don't try and do anything with it like that. So
do you have it within arm's reach there by any chance, or is it awkward to get to?
No, it's away in the box.
That's alright.
I've not even set up the Battling Deadpool. They're just all kind of there. But the head sculpt's great. The the overall head sculpt.
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
I love the half mask. It works really well with the clean. It's perfect looking. So yeah, so I've got
stuff.
The three of them that I can worked with. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, there's been a few this week. But
Happy days. Anyone else get anything new this week? Anything in the doors?
Continuing with the modelling theme, I got an F-15.
Hey.
That's the big boy.
Man,
Very nice.
fighter jets are just cool, man. They're the closest thing we'll get to spaceship. They're just amazing.
That is cool.
How long will that
How
take
long
you
does
to
that
make,
take
Phil?
to build? Funny you
That's
should
what I
say
was
that.
thinking.
Well, the Focke-Wulf one that I showed last week, I'm about 3/4 of the way through, and that was far smaller. So that's probably gonna. This is probably gonna take about a month, ish.
I've given up all chance at inner peace.
Had to,
It's on the floor.
Exactly. And aside from that, my DX38 invoice came through today, so Jack Sparrow's on the way. Thank God. Finally.
good stuff.
Happy
Good stuff.
days.
Yeah.
Really?
I might, Phil. I might actually send you a link to that Revel X-wing, because I want to get an X-wing, and I don't want to get the Micro Machines ones that are like, dinky. I'd like some maybe 172 or something like that.
Yeah.
And in terms of, I find like I don't know if you remember the Kenner X-wing, the proportions were the stumpy wings and the snout. It looked terrible, but then I think it was Kenner or Hasbro did their Force Effects, the Power of the Force version, and it actually was really, really big. I had one, but it was just too big to display. Whereas I think the Revel one, it's probably the most impressive detailed X-wing I've seen, but I know then it's snapped together, but you have to paint it. They give you decals, but you have to paint it, and I don't know how well I could make it look. Do you know what I mean? But I'll send you a link, and it'd be something I might give a go. It's not that expensive. I know you have to buy the paint and stuff like that and a few tools, but like if you did it right, I think it would look incredible.
Are you after a commission?
Maybe. Yeah. I'll link it onto you. It's pretty damn cool. Like I think you'd be interested in building it.
Send me the link. I'll give it a go. If it turns out well, I'll send a few pictures across, and then if you want it, then I'll ship it.
Ah, no, geez, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But yeah, grand, we'll do that. Sound. No, but I don't think I'd mind actually just giving it a lash, like, but I just I don't know how well. I've seen some ones, where you can go into Amazon and then you can click on it and see like product reviews and photos of it. And some of the people, it's like less is more. They get the grey coat and a tiny bit of a dry brush, whatever like that, and it just looks slick. And other people, you can tell like they just overcooked it. There's too much paint going on. And like Sir Bob, you probably know exactly what I mean by overcooked. It's like it was fine about a day ago. You didn't need that extra layer of paint, that extra detail, and it just
can't go back.
Sometimes you need to just abandon it, I'd say. But
absolutely.
Yeah. Anyone else? So Ian got a Deadpool in the Jaws bust. Phil got an F-15. Dave.
I got oh sorry. Do you want
sorry.
Dave? No, go Dave.
Got a new book today.
Oh, that looks cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting back into comics. I have my collection that I've had forever, but I stopped buying new books years ago, and I'm so far behind. And I gotta catch up on Wolverine. So here we go, just diving right in somewhere, because who knows where to actually pick up. So yeah, it's so hard.
Good stuff.
To just find a spot. Like you can't just go where you left off, So
No, comic books are difficult like that. When I've got into comic books, I was just like, where do you even start? Like which like era, which story do you read? It's hard.
I think I've got the answer to that.
Yeah.
I think again, I'm not a comic book guru or anything like that. But like, okay, if you're looking for a specific book for a specific character, that's just like, okay, find someone who's a comic book guru or whatever, and they can go, okay, Daredevil, where do I start? And they can point you in a direction. But if you're like, you don't have that connection or whatever, and like that'd be easy. You'll find people like that in the community very easily. But if you're just like, okay, where do they even start? Think of the movies that you love that are based on comic books and superhero. movies. Like, they take obviously influence from the comic books and just go, okay, for example, Secret Wars, that's probably a good one to read. The Infinity War saga, that I've read that's great. Batman Begins is based on Year One. The Dark Knight was loosely based on Arkham Asylum, The Killing Joke. I think maybe you know what I'm saying. Like, think of the movies that you really like that are based on that originated in comic books, and find out what the director took influence from. Probably a good place to start, or find someone who knows their stuff. Is it a particular character you want to start with, or just in general?
Peter at Triple G Comics is really good. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. He knows stuff. Yeah.
Knows a few things.
Anywhere is a good place to start. I think for me, my problem is that I want to be chronological, or at least I want to be release order. You know, because things don't always go in chronology. But like, because I was sitting there at the comic shop today, on my way home, just looking through the just shelves of collected editions of just Wolverine, and I was like, Jesus, what have I missed? You know, and like I'm about 15 years behind.
Wow,
so,
that's a lot to catch up on.
A lot's happened. And I think I'm just gonna start grabbing omnibuses and just start doing that. Just grab
That's what I
everything
found.
that has the biggest collections and just start going through there. And do that way.
Yeah.
That's what I did with New 52. It really helped.
Yeah.
When you say omnibus, do you mean like the graphic novel when they have all the comics put together
the
in
big,
one book?
Thick,
Yeah.
Cost like a couple $100 and they're like this friggin' wide. And,
Yeah.
Gigantic volumes that collect like a whole era. Yeah. But then you've got all the incidental stuff that, happens in other titles. So there's a lot of research I gotta do. There's a lot of stuff I gotta go through. Oh yeah.
I think Dave Lael would be your go-to for real knowledge and depth on comics right across the board. His knowledge is quite incredible. And then you've got Jacob, Comic Relief Collectibles. He's obviously selling them all, and he reads. I don't think he's, from memory, I don't think he's the biggest fan of X-Men, but his knowledge is exceptional.
Brandon as well.
Yeah, Brent. I think he's more select, isn't he? Spider-Man, Daredevil. But
Big Daredevil
don't
fan.
shoot me if I'm wrong, but Mafia for X-Men.
Yeah, absolutely. And like any of those guys, like I'd say they'd be happy enough you send them a message to go, right, this is must reads. Read this if you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Come back for more. What did you get in new this week, Bob?
Oh, I got the. I'm going backwards. Actually, I got Wonder Woman 84. I saw the fusion reactors do the light up whip, and that was kind of the thing that made me go, I need to get this because it looks really cool with that. So I've got the whips on its way from Australia now, and she's stood there waiting for it.
Do you know I've had that months ago, and it's still just sitting in the cabinet. I've not set it up.
Ian. Damn it.
The 1984 Wonder Woman.
No, the Lasso of Truth from
right.
Fusion Reactors. Yeah, it's just. Back, I'll get it.
Man, you forget how like enormous Ian's display is.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then like he walked off into the distance. It was like, where's he gone? Like, yeah, it's like that room in Willy Wonka, the strange room.
Yeah. You went for the long one, Ian.
She's temporarily there. She should be next door, but yeah. So it's terrible.
Good.
I've had it for months, and it's anyway.
Looks mad, that little. Yeah.
I'll have mine set up before you will, won't I?
Most
Yeah.
people wouldn't admit that, Ian, but it is the lasso of truth, and you are holding it. So there's that. Yeah,
I
so-
like that.
Yeah, those
yeah,
photos
I
are
try, I
awesome.
try. I got Jean Wick. Jean Wick
Jean
4.
Oh, nice.
Jean Wick.
Mr. Week.
Yeah, that's what the
yeah,
French say,
Dragging
Jean
that
Wick.
out.
Nice.
With the
I got one
potato
paper left
hands.
on that, and I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
the
people.
potato hands, yeah. Yeah.
Those hands
Um,
look awesome.
I hadn't heard about that until you mentioned
And
it
the
on
dog.
Ben Thomas's show.
yeah, they're not great. They're not great.
Aye.
I've got the I've got that, and then yeah, the dog's on its way as well. So yeah, so that's that'll be pretty cool.
Have you opened
Alright.
the wick yet, Shane?
No, I didn't. I didn't because, like I said, I have 2 weeks off, and I'm a big lists guy. I kind of like, right, you have 2 weeks off, make these count, and just brain dumped all the things I wanted to do in the 2 weeks. Some stuff were really boring. I'm not going to bore you. Some stuff were like exciting. I was like, okay, I want to go mountain biking at least 4 times over the 2 weeks, or I need to catch up on this or whatever. And some of the things were shitty stuff around the house that I've been putting off, whatever. But one of the things was like I needed to actually take everything out of the movie icon display downstairs and actually just clean it. Now it's not that it's dirty or anything, but just maybe every 6 months I do that just to make sure it's just still looking fresh. And I kind of want to change things around there, because, for example, I always had the Heath Ledger rooted INART smirking sculpt, the jail cell version, displayed sitting down with the handcuffs on, clapping, recreating that scene. In the jail cell is very hard not to use because it's such a weighty piece. It's such a cool environmental diorama. It's like, it feels terrible not using it. But then I was like, because of the size of it, it's usually like on the desk or maybe on a floating shelf, and you can't fit it into Bleeding. So the light doesn't hit it because it's not in a lit cabinet, it's not in the Bleedings, it's not in a module case, it's not in a whatever. And I wanted to redo the hair because, like I told you that story about how I got 2 copies of the regular sculpt, non-smirking, and the jail cell one's supposed to be smirking. I got onto Lion Rock Toys, I sent it over to them, and they sent me a replacement. Fair play to them, they took care of it, they did me right. But because they packed it so with like bubble wrap and all that kind of crap, the hair compressed, so there's no volume in it, and there's a lot more product in that copy than the one that I sent back to non-smirking skull. So I was like, right, and I've been putting it off. I didn't even like looking at it. I was like, right, I know I can fix this. Brandon Salad had restyled his, and I reached out to him like months ago, and I think it was coming a year ago, but I just saved the message he sent. So I just took his advice. I got a tiny little paintbrush and warm water and just applied a lot of water onto the sculpt, and you could feel it was like a water soluble gel coming off because it's a bit sticky in the hands, So I was just like kept putting loads of water on it, and then it began to move a bit, and I'd use like a little toothpick. I didn't use a tweezers, used a toothpick, and then suddenly it separated and it was still the natural curls and stuff. And anyway, styled the hair, and I was really happy with it. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to just put this back in the jail cell on the desk, whatever. I want to actually display this properly. So I added it into the movie icons display, but because there's already a Jack Nicholson Joker, I was like, no, I don't want. You have the Keaton 89 and the Jack Nicholson together. Wherever they're going together. Let's be honest, right? So I moved them back up here. I put the Pattinson Batman downstairs this morning with the Superman. So you got, movie icons, Batman, Superman. Now you got the Heath Ledger Joker. Fine, brilliant. And you got next to the T-800 Terminator from police shootout scene. There's the Wolverine, there's a Deadpool. And I have a Peacemaker down there. Because I originally had I think it was a Iron Man Mark 47, the Homecoming Spider-Man, so I moved them out as well. So I left one spot for John Wick. So the movie icon space is looking well, but the Peacemaker, it's a Peacemaker from the series. So I'd inevitably, I'm going to take that out and put probably the Feral Predator. Because even Predator is an iconic, it's a movie icon. The Jungle Predator would be better than the Feral Predator. We all know that. It's more of that is the iconic Predator. But that's where that's going to go. But anyway, so sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Basically, there's a gap downstairs for him, and I'm probably going to unbox it after this, and I'll do a review, and I'll slap him in there and throw his dog down there, Bob's your uncle. The dog actually comes with a lead, I think, as well, which I thought was hilarious. But
Cool.
yeah, but so no, it's really exciting. It's really exciting. I do want some custom hands for it, but yeah, first world problems. Will we do the face-off, guys?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Started watching
I
that
think
film
we-
today, randomly.
Did you?
Yeah, I've never seen it before. And I
I
thought, why
could be a
not?
peach for hours. Is it? Oh, I can't
That's
remember.
right,
Is it his wife and that is really hot? John Travolta's character's wife, or is it Nick
She's
Cage's?
not, no. It's
You answered that way too quick.
So, no, because I've just got to this bit where obviously he's now in John Travolta's face, right? And he goes to the wife's house and he starts hitting on the guy's daughter. And it's just such a cringy scene because you're watching it. Because you're like, that's not your dad. But she doesn't know that. And it's just, oh man. It's a wacky film.
Oh,
I
I've
didn't realise how
forgotten
bad it
about
was.
that scene. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, because he has a teenage daughter who's about 17, 18, something like that. Ugh.
Yeah, that is extremely messed up. But Nicolas Cage probably, well, actually, technically, it's not Nicolas Cage. It's actually John Travolta. Isn't that a ridiculous movie though?
Some of the acting reminds me of Jim Carrey almost. Like they're channeling, like they've taken some like steps from him, like the wackiness of how they act in certain scenes, especially Nick Cage in some of it. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's fun though.
Yeah, Nick Cage is. He's not someone I'm like, yes, Nick Cage is in this. He's, you know, I could probably throw on Con Air and enjoy it. It's got a guilty pleasure.
That's a good film.
Do you know what's a great movie? Kick-Ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first one especially. Second one as well.
The first one especially, but I still like the second one because you want Grace. Is it Grace Chloe Martiz?
Chloe.
She is so good. She lands in, and the first thing she says, "All right, cunts," and she's like fucking 10, and it's like she shouldn't be saying that, like, but it's just so funny how they do it, and then she kicks their asses. Like, I need to rewatch that. I think that's a good one.
That was a great film actually. Good shout.
Side note, folks, guilty pleasures, movies you'll watch but you know they're shit. Anyone?
Oh.
I'll give you time to think because I've sprung it on you. I watched Starship Troopers last night with Megan, and she was just like, "This is shit," and I goes, "I know, yeah, but it's still entertaining." It's not a good movie. It hasn't aged well. Denise Richard is, oh my god, it's like she was made. It's like she was either crafted by blind nuns or genetically grown in a beauty lab. She's fantastic. But my God, that movie is...
I was more of a Dizzy fan.
You know, but the thing is, Dizzy is beautiful as well. She was actually in Dublin Comic Con last year. She is stunning too. But it's next to...
I get that.
It's like there's a... It's like INART and Hot Toys or something, but the movie is, there's some really terrible parts in it. Like there's some really terrible parts though.
I've got that movie on 4K.
Yeah.
It looks actually good on 4K.
Is it? Wow.
And it's a beautiful steelbook.
And
And
there's some bits that are really funny, but it's satire. It's supposed to be funny, I think. Like,
or the other Starship Trooper movies are horrendous, but the first one, I can watch it lots, but the other ones are
The second
shocking.
one was bad.
Do not watch.
there's some great parts in it though. I like because it's it's Paul Verhoeven. It's same director as RoboCop, 87, and like that. Would you like to know more? It's that kind of I buy that for $1. It's still kind of that kind of humor and satire and the like the what cracked me up. I actually laughed so much at it now because I kind of think I realize it's supposed to be. It's kind of self-aware in a way that's so funny because Do you know they're training and it's like someone at one point he throws a knife into the guy's hand and he's medic, or he breaks someone else's hand, medic, and this guy gets his face shot off. He's dead. Like, medic. He should be. It should be like spillage in aisle 2, guys. Like, he's not going to make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Ian?
I'll give you a good one, and this could be quite contentious. Bloodsport. Now, hear me out. As a kid, I loved that movie because I was steeped in martial arts. I have it on 4K Steelbook, the limited edition. I have pre-ordered Frank Duck's Bloodsport from Caustic Plastic. Looks great. I love the movie, but see when you watch it back, it's a hard watch in certain parts, and it looks like the audio, there's some real dubbing that I didn't pick up years ago. But now I'm sitting like watching going, hey, this is post-filming audio here.
But Ian, you know, I was talking with this with Megan last night. You know the way there's like certain styles and genres of movies come into fashion. And right now we're probably like 10 to 15, maybe I'd say 20 years. It's probably overstayed its welcome. The comic book superhero movie is the selling point. Every second movie is a superhero movie, and they're not all good. Like, as a movie fan, I have no problem admitting it. For every like fucking 5 or 10 superhero movies, there's a lot of duds, man. It's only like one gem. It seems to be the ratio. The hit ratio is definitely significantly less, significantly less than say the miss ratio. But like the 80s, it was all martial arts action films, cheesy one-liners. Think about it, like, you know, and some of these movies were great. Some of these movies were great, but some of these you do have to kind of watch it a pinch of salt as well. You know, like say Best of the Best 1 and 2, Under Siege. You know, these kind of they're just action movies. You know, there is a cringeability factor with a lot of them. So you reckon Bloodsport is kind of around that?
But I still love it because the nostalgia and all that, and I'll always still watch it. But yeah, it's hey, I obviously love it because I've got the movie and I've pre-ordered the figure.
I want to go back and watch Best of the Best 1, Best of the Best 2. I want to go back and watch Under Siege.
I've not seen Best of the Best in years. Julia
I'd say
Roberts'
30 years, man.
Brother Eric Roberts, obviously in that.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. Yeah.
Which character is? Who did you say there? Roberts.
Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother.
Right, and is he the main character?
Yeah.
The lad with the long hair, is it?
In the first one, yeah, long kind of wavy hair. Yeah.
That was funny.
Aye, it's. I'll give you another good one. Brandon Lee's. I'm not saying it's not cheesy or that. But it's a good light action, that type of movie. Rapid Fire.
Never seen it.
Oh.
Another one. Lethal Weapon. Not Lethal Weapon. Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman. That's actually
never heard of it.
Action movie. I think that was that the 80s? I think so. Anyway.
Have any of you ever seen a movie called Maniac Cop?
I've heard of that, but I have not seen that.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Never saw it.
Not seen that.
I think it's like a sci-fi horror movie or just straight up horror movie. I remember as a kid, like I'd watched RoboCop 1, I'd watched RoboCop 2, and I was like, man, these movies are incredible. And Terminator 1, 2, whatever. And I saw this like these ads because you know when you rent the VHS and you get to see these ads and it's like ads for the other things that were around that time. It was Maniac Cop, and it was like, yeah, I'd never seen it. It was always advertised, but I'd say I don't think it's going to be great. But like, you know, anyone in the chat seen it? Has anyone in the panel seen it? No.
Nope.
No, I've seen trailers and clips of it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah. I'd imagine it's a movie you watch and you're like, I think I need a shower after it. I just don't. I think the memory you'd want to erase, like, you know. But Blurred Dad's Life has an excellent point there. I strongly recommend The Long Halloween Batman, Hush, and Dark Victory. 1 second. Do I have Hush? Yeah, I've got the Long Halloween and Hush Returns, but yeah, you year one, Arkham Asylum, The Killing Joke, Nightfall, Long Halloween. He's not wrong. He's absolutely right. Hush, all great. And Dark Knight Returns as well. All great graphic novels or comics. If
yeah, see,
you
I
haven't
was
read
in
them.
the process of getting the Long Halloween when I stopped collecting comics, so I have like some of the single issues, but I never finished it, and I need to do that.
Have you seen the you know the way on you can actually go and watch the animated counterparts which follow the story pretty much exactly. It's very, very good.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I need to pick a day to just catch up on all the DC animated stuff because it's really good.
We got
does
12-inch
great with
move
their
stream.
animated stuff.
Pardon?
DC does great with their animated stuff.
Yeah, you're a bit
I don't know where all
low,
that is
Dave.
in the actual movies.
You're a bit low there, Dave. I'm going to just increase your.
Oh.
I'm just going to increase. You're all right. I'm just going to bring up your gain a little bit there, so just see if I can hear you a bit better. And we have 12-inch move stream. Hello, community collectors. It's tax season, and I work for the IRS. I don't know. Big Rib, how are you doing? Stanley says, great film. I wonder, is he talking about Starship Troopers? Pliskin Inc. I'm just about to order some Maju cases and wonder what sort of light I should use, warm or pure. Oh, I would go
pure.
Cool light, but the expert, over to you, Ian. We're going to go full screen. We now go
light.
live to Scotland.
Go for pure light, unless you obviously want that warmer tinge, but I've seen a local collector with that, and I personally am not a fan. Casts, the light in some figures isn't great in my opinion, so always go with the pure light.
Excellent stuff. And we'll just go back out here. Hope that answers your question. Whose performance was better in playing Castor Troy? Travolta or Nick Cage? What do you think, folks? Bob is weighing in there. Pure light. Yeah, I'm a pure light type of person. I like the white light as well. I don't like the warm tones. Who else we got? Suicide 1 is a movie that I love but sucks. Fair. Independence Day. As a kid, I absolutely loved it. And then when I watched it as an adult, I'm like, man, this is so cheesy. But there's still parts I love about it. And plus, it's groundbreaking special effects and has F-18s. And the concept of F-18s being outclassed. And like F-18s are cool anyway. But they're using their own military to try and defeat this technology, which is far beyond theirs. I think that was pretty cool. But there's a lot of cheese. Battlefield Earth, never watched that. I judged that by the trailer going, nah, I don't think that's for me. JB Velo was saying bad. Starship Troop. Pardon?
Yeah, but that last one just sounds like a B movie, right?
I think it's John Travolta as well. I think.
Good movie.
Are you doing your part? Yeah, that's Starship Troopers reference there.
Propaganda.
Paul Verhoeven is one demented director, and I love it. Some of the kills on Starship Troopers are insane, but nothing tops. Let me lend you a hand scene. Yeah, you see, cops don't like me, and I don't like cops. Have you ever seen that? There's man. That guy. I rewatched. Actually, no, I didn't rewatch. I watched Tombstone for the first time at the weekend. I have never seen that. I thought I did. I was thinking about a different movie. And Red Foreman is in it. So that's like the guy from oh my god, the guy from RoboCop. What's his name? Clarence Bodiger. Like he's an evil bastard. And then he's in the 70 Show, and he's fantastic. But he's actually in this movie as well, Tombstone. But the cast in Tombstone, I was blown away. You got Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Bill Paxton, the guy. Oh my god, I never remember his name. The guy with the big moustache, kind of looks like a cowboy.
Sam something, isn't it?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, thank you. You've got Michael Biehn is in it. You have a very young Michael Rooker. There's so many people in it. Like it's a great movie, but yeah. Just going through.
It's weird when that happens. Have you ever heard of a film called Bone Tomahawk? Because that's like a Wild West film. It's
I have heard of it. I haven't seen it.
But that's got
Terrible.
Kurt Russell in it. It's not a good film.
It's terrible.
It's not good. But that's got like a few famous people in it that I wouldn't expect to see in that kind of film. It's got Kurt Russell, David Arquette, Patrick Wilson. It's got a few guys in it. I was just like, what are they doing in this film? It was a bit mad. That was a weird one. All Screamers is good as well, but it's also a bad film.
Maroney in The Dark Knight. Was he in Tombstone? Was he in Tombstone as well?
No, is he referring to Eric Roberts? Was he Maroney in?
I know the character.
Yeah.
I can see the guy in my head, but I don't know the actor's name.
The big guy.
It's Eric Roberts.
Yeah, he was.
But what was he in reference to? Was he saying he was in Tombstone as well, or?
No, he's. So we were saying that Eric Roberts was in Best of the Best.
Right.
And he plays the character Maroney in The Dark Knight.
Oh my God, yeah, because I haven't seen Best of the Best in like 30 years, but now I can see it. Man, that's crazy. I'm gonna rewatch Best of the Best. MB Dyson saying Deep Rising is a fun B-grade monster movie. Treat Williams, R.I.P. Famke Jensen. Might just watch that one. Writer director of The Mummy. Okay, so let's see what else we can talk about. So what's left is... Oh no, we're going to do Face Off now. We'll do Face Off. You happy enough to do Face Off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Why not?
So one person gets like a... One person gets a... First person to comment in the chat doesn't have to actually take part.
I'll sit out. I can't.
Okay.
For whatever I can't type in the chat here, I'd need to go on my phone. So I'll sit out.
Okay. So we'll leave the teams as it is. So it's gonna be Dave, X-Man Supreme, and Jim Collector versus Phil, Rogue One Photography, and Bob, Tiny Art Guy. So we'll get the music right. First of all, we get everything started. All right, we're getting ready here now. All right, so okay, first question for Dave's team. These are all Star Wars themed, and I think we might actually keep it Star Wars themed until post May the 4th. So Dave, your team, in what year did Rogue One release?
Oh, it's about 10 years old, that film. Isn't it, I think? Is it 10 or 9 years, though?
So 2015? What was happening in 20... What was happening when that movie came out?
I know this, Bob.
I feel like... I think it's...
Was it
Me too,
before
mate.
or after
Me too.
the Force Awakens?
I think it's about... I think this film probably came out 9 years ago. What would that be? 2016? It feels like a 2016 movie.
If it was after Force Awakens, then yeah, I'm with that. Because Force Awakens was 2015, right?
I think
Pretty sure that was.
It might have come after Force Awakens, no?
If so, then I think 2016 is probably good.
Should we say 2016?
Do you have a final answer?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yes!
1 point. 1 point.
Yes!
So we're going to over to Phil and Bob now, keeping with the Star Wars team. What year did Attack of the Clones release? Switch over to private chat there, folks.
Can Yeah, because when were they doing the anniversary editions in Hot Toys?
I've got a feeling it's 2002.
I'm sure the anniversary was during Celebration, which was 23. So it was 2002 or 2003, I think.
Let's go for 2 then, shall we? Go with the
Yeah.
hunch.
Yeah.
That feeling. Shane's gone.
He's ditched us.
Yes,
Yeah.
just left.
He's given up hope.
You imagine,
Quick, guys, Google your
imagine
answers.
you're in a courtroom and like the defense just is done putting this whole thing out, and the judge is just not there.
The judge is buggered up.
Matt Murdock's sitting there like, what?
Do you want to give your final
Maybe-
answer? I
Maybe
can
Ian
answer
knows.
for you.
Yeah. Should we go for 2002?
Yeah, Ian should know.
Keep it moving.
2002.
Yeah. We'll go 2002.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well
It's
done,
a
Bob.
Good start, guys. Good start.
Well done, Bob.
It's the taking part that counts.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, I don't have the other question.
Just make one up, Ian.
I love the way
Once we
Ian
come
played an
back.
absolute blinder there and just like picked up the slack there without having to be asked. True leadership, man. Can't be taught. Just born that way. Right, so we're 1-1. You mentioned Matt Murdock and the defense. We watched very different movies this weekend. We had a good Friday night. We watched Tombstone. Never seen it. Fantastic. Highly recommend. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Saturday night we watched A Time to Kill. You ever seen A Time to Kill?
I have.
That
think
is
so.
a fantastic movie. I hadn't seen it in about 25 years, but yes, they deserve to die. I hope they burn in hell. He wasn't
That's-
wrong.
Oh,
He
that's
wasn't
that
wrong.
movie. Okay.
Is that the
So good.
Samuel Jackson, wasn't it?
Samuel Jackson, a very, very young Matthew McConaughey, and Sandra Bullock in her absolute prime. Second question. Who directed Empire Strikes Back? That's for you, X-Man and Jim.
Was it? It wasn't Spielberg, was it?
I just assumed it was George Lucas that directed all of them,
Didn't he?
to be honest. Because I know they did work together a lot, especially on Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah. But, well, wasn't it one produced it and the other one directed, right? Was it Spielberg that produced?
I mean, ESB is the best one, so Spielberg directed it. It wouldn't surprise me.
I think maybe that might be the answer.
Yeah?
That sounds like a good answer to me. I don't know any better than that.
Alright, yeah, lock it in.
Incorrect. It was Irvine Kershner. Irvin.
Yeah, I would have
Irvine,
never guessed
Irvin.
that.
Irvin. Yeah, Star Wars is the only movie that features aliens that Spielberg actually didn't direct. Okay, so Phil and Bob, your question: who directed Return of the Jedi?
Do you know, Phil?
I've got no idea. I was the same as Dave. I just thought Lucas did all of them.
We go with Lucas or
Yeah, so did
me
I.
too.
I feel like a bombshell has just been dropped in my mind.
Maybe he's done this one then. Maybe he did this one.
Just
What's
while
the
you're
one?
thinking there, Philly is dropping absolute facts. Joel Schumacher directed A Time to Kill. I could not believe that when it came up on the screen. I either didn't know that or forgot it. It's just very, very different to... like, it's a fantastic movie. And Joel Schumacher actually has made some fantastic movies, but Forever and Batman and Robin were not two of them.
Batman was not his character.
Definitely not.
Just go with
I don't know,
Lucas
Phil.
then, Bob, yeah?
Should we just go for Lucas?
Yeah, go with Lucas. George
Matt
Lucas.
Incorrect. Lucas only directed the first one. It's Richard Marquand. So we're still neck and neck. It's 1-1, and we're back to Jim and Dave. Who played the character. I'm going to spell this for you. It's S-A-B-E, and there's a little dash over the E. I think it's pronounced Sabe. I'm not entirely sure. In The Phantom Menace.
I don't know who that character is.
So S-A-B, and then it's like an E with a little dash over it. Sabe or Sabi.
Is he one of the Gungans?
Don't know. Can't tell you.
Who the F is that?
I've never even heard of that name.
It.
Sabe.
Stanley, I'm going to give you a timeout.
I
might actually agree with him a little bit.
I'm gonna say Stanley Tucci.
No. Definitely wasn't.
Samuel L. Jackson.
To be fair, I wouldn't know, so sod it, yeah. Stanley Tucci it is.
Okay, incorrect. It was Keira Knightley. She was one of the decoys for Padme.
That's her
That was a
name?
hard question. That's a hard question.
Trick question.
Yeah,
Oh,
S-A-B-E.
you know what?
Yeah.
My first, one of my second thoughts was like, was it one of her extras? But I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure it's a dude's name.
Yep, it was Keira Knightley.
Yeah. 'Cause I knew
For
she
the
was in
win,
it, but,
folks.
well.
For the win, I think you might get a bit lucky here. Very topical at the moment. Who played, I'm going to say who played. When I say played, I mean voiced.
Aw.
K2SO in Rogue One.
Son of a...
I would know this one.
It's the same guy that voiced our
I actually
robot.
know this one.
Robot.
Yeah, I know this one as well. This is so annoying. Damn it, Shane.
I'll blast it.
I can picture him. That's not helpful.
If they can't get it, we should be able to answer. For the win.
Tudyk, Simon Tudyk, Alan Tudyk, Alan Tudyk.
That is correct. You are the winners.
Yes.
Good
Yes.
It's
stuff.
not pronounced Turdick.
one, mate.
What is that? Tudyk, no?
Pulled it out of the bag.
It's a different name.
Good
I need
stuff,
some VAR
folks.
on
Good
this.
stuff. All right.
No,
so
well done, guys.
I'm going to get rid of this music. Sorry. Well done, guys.
Smashed
Okay,
it.
so we've got two more topics left. I say we're about 10 minutes left to go. And so the first one here. This was put up by Hot Toys in their official social media, Facebook, Instagram. So these are Hot Toys at Cos Babies. I suppose their comeback to their response. Their, what would you call them? What are the other one? The Funko Pops. Kind of like their version of Funko Pops in a way that I don't actually know anyone who actually buys it.
Bobblehead
But
sort of thing, is it?
bobbleheads, yeah. So they're like these tiny little dinky yolks, and a lot of the time, sometime, they put these up and then they actually announce the 6 scale. We've seen it with things like Squid Game before, I believe, and a bunch of other things. But anyway. So we have Wicket. That's at Nisa. Chief Chirpa. I think it's Toket. I'm not entirely sure. Bretup. Paplu. Logray. Zephy. And Baby Nippet. I think that's the last one. So there they are there now. So, anyone think that this is possibly a sign that there's a few Hot Toys official 1/6 scale Ewoks?
Chief Chirper would be my bet.
I'd love to see
What-
a 2-pack because when was the last time they did a 2-pack?
I'd love to see a 4-pack like the Joker.
Oh yeah, even a 4-pack, yeah.
Get all 4 of them in there because they're only little, aren't they?
Have they never done an
Ewok
Ewok?
there. She was like specifically from that cartoon
Yes.
they did, right?
Wicket. The Leia and Wicket
With Leia?
2-pack.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that.
I reckon people would army build these.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I'm just putting a poll in the chat there. Will we get a Return of the Jedi Ewok announcement? So should be live in the chat there. The answer is just yes or no. Starting the poll there. So if you want to
Would
take
you
part
buy a
in the poll,
life-size one?
Yub nub. I do think actually it's probably a sign of things to come. It would not. It's the type of thing they could do. no licensing issue. It's a relatively simple
Yeah.
figure they've done it before.
If it was the anniversary, then I'd maybe say it's relevant to that, but that's been and gone. From
Doesn't matter though, does it though? Don't they often do this, don't they?
Yeah.
They hype up, oh, we've got an anniversary for Return of the Jedi, and then they give us 2 officially branded, 40th anniversary or Return of the Jedi, whatever they are. The C-3PO and Vader, and then they go and do a Han Solo, which is not branded it's branded Return of the Jedi, but it's not actually Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. And then the same kind of few months they threw out a Sand Trooper and a Dewback for New Hope, so there's no real... It could have. I agree with you, Phil. You sent this earlier on the chat, and I was like, yeah, I think they're going to get a selection then, so let's poll in the chat anyway if people want to partake. Anyone have any strong feelings for these Ewoks?
Not for these ones, no. I have strong feelings for 1/6.
I'm trying to remember what that wicket that they did before looked like.
Looked like a furry little teddy bear with a spear.
Well, yeah, but like the quality of it though, was it a good wicket or did it need improvement?
I doubt the quality of the actual Ewoks inside in the actual set
Look
were
here,
great.
don't be that friggin' guy, Shane.
They're wearing
Let's
onesies,
hate on the
Dave.
cute
They're
animals.
wearing hairy onesies.
I don't care. I love the Ewoks and they're awesome. I want Ewoks.
Okay. Ian's got
I'll
it.
take Ewoks. Dadgummit. I'll put 4 of them in a trench coat.
There you go.
I love that. That's a
Here
great
it
idea.
is.
Here he goes,
What am I
12
looking
inch,
at?
12 inch Moose Fox.
Moose Fox.
Moose Fox.
Was that the Wicked, is it?
Yeah. That's cool. That's really good.
Is that the
Is
base
that
it comes
like
with as
fur?
well, yeah?
Is that coloration
Yeah,
right?
that's the base.
It's like
as well.
flocked or something, is it?
He looks so bright and his face is so like...
Look at the bases we used to get, guys. So much better.
What kind of bases are you referring to? Like, oh, that base, like, you prefer that, like, more diorama, like?
Yeah, just
They were
like
more
the...
creative, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and it kind of fits into a scene quite nicely. I mean, it's better than the Anakin bases.
There was a Power Droid and Jawa Tupac, as Moose said.
Ooh.
What if we got a new Yoda?
Ooh,
I think one's
that'd be good.
overdue. I think
Yeah.
one's overdue.
OT or prequel, though?
So, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the panel. So, who has either pre-ordered this or is more or less a dead cert? I think I can guess. I know Dave is resisting. I've already priced it up. It's going to happen. It's as good as pre-ordered. Phil pre-ordered K2SO and Cassian, I think, very quickly on the day. I think it was a day one. And then after that, I'm not sure. What about Cassian and or Bob? Did you drop a PO on this, or are you thinking? Are you still?
Well, because I'm just about to drop the PO on K2SO, and I'm 80% sure I'm going to be doing this one as well. I've seen they're quite well priced, aren't they? I mean, the two of them for less than 500 quid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Good
true. Yeah,
money,
that's
but
true. Yeah.
when you're looking at the prices of some figures that come out now, I'm all about value for money. So I think that's a good.
Like
not
you
too
could
bad
get the
price.
two of these for the price of nearly the price of an artisan. You know,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
265 and 275?
do
So
me.
you're,
So I'm.
what's
I'm
what's
pretty
that about
happy.
540? Is it? I think my maths is right in that. And then an art center, 425. Okay, it's not quite,
A
but
little bit more on it, but
Ian, did you already PO these, or are you still pricing them up?
Cassian was day one pre-order, so yeah,
Wow.
100%. I adore Rogue One, so this was a must-have. So yeah,
And Jim,
I'm kind of in a. I want these, but I haven't pre-ordered anything from this year yet.
really? Good
Yeah, no, I
going.
haven't. I know. I'm quite proud of that. After last year, I was like, oh, pre-ordering everything. This year,
Control,
I've
mate.
yeah, I'm
Control.
trying to. Also, I mean, a lot of things normally, unless it is artisan, you can find afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might pull the trigger on this. Cassian would be great to have, um, but it would just mean K2SO as well, you know. And just there's other lines coming out that. I mean, we're not even halfway through the year yet, so just trying to hedge my bets because this is what happened to me last year. Last year, so many things first part of the year, I was like, yeah, I'll get that, and that, and then so many more things come out the second part of the year, and then suddenly you're like, oh, bollocks, you know. And with these, there isn't like a pre-order cutoff, so to speak. So I can probably wait a little bit, which is what I think I'll do. But I do want these. I do like them.
Yeah. Just going to go through some of the details on this before we get thoughts from people. So I'll just go through some of the basics and then I might give my thoughts at the end or anything. But so yeah, look, this is Cassian Andor, branded Rogue One, not branded Andor Season 1 or 2. It has your separate rolling eyeballs features. It comes with a kind of a pistol type blaster and a rifle type blaster, a holster. I imagine that's pleather. You got boots which don't look split cut. Maybe other photos will reveal. I don't think they are though. A few swap out hands, a very basic generic Star Wars rectangular base. The normal kind of brown jacket and the flight jacket with the kind of I suppose the dark green and the kind of with that splash of yellow with a bit of weathering on it as well. And the head sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs featured that looks like Cassian Andor or Diego Luna. This is due for unlike K2SO, which was announced the same day, which was branded Andor, that's due for release Q4 of this year or Q1 of next year. This figure is due, the window's a lot bigger. It's basically Q2 or 3, anywhere from the start of Q2 next year to the end of Q3 next year. So this one obviously they don't have on tap like the other one. So that's where it is at the moment. Who wants to go first on this?
Yeah, it had to be day one pre-ordered. I think this. Yeah, the hair's a bit iffy, and like it's unlike Hot Toys because they're normally pretty good with their sculpted hair, and they, to be fair. But I think the likeness is there. Looks fantastic. Rogue One is probably up there. It's one of my favourite Star Wars movies. So as soon as I saw this popping up for PO, it was done and dusted. Really like to see the Jin with it, mind, but I'd be happy with him and K2SO. They look fantastic here together.
Yeah, the hair, I think maybe like I see the detail on it. I think maybe could be a victim of like whatever way they're lighting it there, because it looks like there's a lot of reflection bouncing off the hair, making it look kind of almost like not white, but it's like there's light bouncing off it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a kind of direct light. I think see the way on his above his left eye, there's a real shine. It looks like it's the light source or something. You can see. I'm not sure. Can you see the cursor?
Yeah.
See just around there. There's a real shine there, and
Yeah.
I think it's making the hair look brighter than it actually is. But maybe that's just the light in there. Do you think the head sculpt is on point, Phil?
From certain angles, yes. From this angle, I think so. But I think Trevor mentioned last Thursday, didn't he, that some of the photographs they're quite flat. I mean, this is borderline flat. You have got the highlight on the cheek there and on the hair, but I think it's. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. Probably around about an Ian 7.5 to 8.
Yeah.
But
I think it's more than acceptable.
100%, yeah.
There's no question. It looks like Diego Luna or
The only
Cassian
concern would be if it deteriorates upon release.
Yeah.
If it gets better, fantastic. If it stays the same, fantastic. But if it deteriorates, then I wouldn't be thrilled with that.
Like if something's a 10 out of 10 prototype, an absolute banger, you're kind of less concerned. You think, okay, even if it drops down to 9, it's like it's still a very high standard head sculpt. If something, I don't think this is borderline. I do think this is a strong head sculpt. I just think he's a very lean individual. He's narrow, but I just think his head here is wide. I think everything's just a little bit too wide, you know. So I still think it's the likeness is there. It's 8 out of 10.
But the cloth work, I love the sort of waistcoat, like the gilet. I think that's really, really good. Yes, Bob mentioned earlier the yellow sort of rounds it off. I probably I wouldn't display it without that. I don't think. Even the blaster.
Yeah, it adds something a bit different. It does, yeah.
Yeah, and the detail on that rifle is really good as well.
Yeah, 100%. And plus, what I like about this as well, they missed a step here in this. Like I always go on about like figures that come with a lot of accessories, but you can pose them with a lot of accessories without making it look like you're just trying to pose it with all the accessories, as in like shoehorning the stuff in there. But like you could put the blaster into the holster. That's what it's there for. They should have done that in this photo, to be honest. Then that means it leaves the two hands free for holding the rifle, and then you're including the kind of gilet or flight jacket or whatever. So you know, it's just one less thing in the box. Like, let's face it, enough stuff ends up in the box. But yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. But do you think, I'm going to sound like a broken record for the next bloody few months because Andor is coming out and the hype is real. Do you think we realistically are going to get a version of Andor branded Andor?
Yeah.
Good. That's the right answer. Yes, brilliant. Come on, keep the faith.
My only concern is because this is obviously, did you say Q2 to Q4 next year?
Yeah, April to
September.
September.
Is the Hot Toys fear that if they announce an Andor in say 2 months, 3 months, or what have you, they lose out orders of this figure because people want the Andor more. I mean,
true, but if I owned the company and I don't think this figure would have happened if it wasn't for the Andor TV show.
Yeah, they need to get on the hype train, and
I think it's a smart move to brand this Rogue One, because let's face it, they were here first. The Rogue One collectors, as much as I want the Andor one, the Rogue One collectors were here first, and they were waiting 9 years for this. This should have been announced at the same time.
Exactly, you're right in saying why wait 9 years and drop this now just before Andor season 2.
But this is smart. Give the Rogue One collectors what they want. Let the TV show plays out, the season 2. If it does well, summer showcase, bang. I think that's where it could happen.
And not only that, if they do release a base, which I think they will, then Andor, from Andor, people are more likely to get the both.
Yeah.
Because they have that sort of Chirrut already, Jin already. They're not going to drop out because of the, you're probably right. Clever.
What do you think, Jim?
I mean, I think how much I like this is really photo dependent. These aren't a good group of photos, are they? Showcasing this figure.
Right.
Like if
they're not terrible.
This one, that one just there, like the body proportions don't look great. I prefer him without that gilet. Although the gilet has a nice pop of color, I reckon he looks slimmer, and I think the gilet almost overbulks him in some of these photos. Depending on the angle of the head sculpt, sometimes it looks too large.
True.
On the photo where it shows everything he comes with, obviously there's a picture of him on the right side of it, left side of it. There we go, that one. The head sculpt on the right side, banging, really, really good likeness. On the left side, still good, but it doesn't look as good. So it's quite angle dependent, I think, from whatever reference photos they use to like sculpt his head. And I think you nailed it, Shane. You said it's just a bit too wide because he is quite a slim guy. And if you look for side by side photos, but I am very aware that I'm nitpicking, to be quite honest, because it is still objectively a good sculpt, right? It is. I'm with you on the trench coat and blaster. That blaster he has in Andor is just epic. It's like something you'd almost seen like Blade Runner or something like that. I really like that look. But yeah, the figure, I think he looks really good. It would be really nice to get him. I do wish, like other people have said, that he had 2 hair pieces. And I am a bit surprised that this sculpted hair doesn't look great. Maybe it is the lighting on the photos, but I don't know. Could be wrong.
I actually think the detail is very good on it. I think there's a lot of detail there. Yeah, I actually think that sculpted hair is pretty damn good. I just think
his
maybe
beard is
it
good.
looks bright. It looks, yeah, true. It looks kind of very bright. Like it's almost like you can see the light reflecting off it.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be right. But no, I think he looks pretty gnarly. Jin looks not so good next to him.
The Jin, yeah, Jin.
She looks aged.
It looks weird. It looks weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just putting that out there, going, yeah, look, this is a placeholder, and there's going to be another one. I don't know.
A 2.0 this would be a good idea.
I think so. I think it's the right time. If ever there's a time, it's the right time. Especially if she actually is in Andor season 2. Bob, what do you reckon? You already went on this, didn't you?
I'm almost there.
Pardon?
I'm a bit miffed about the boots. There's a lot of photos with the boots has got his name written over the top, so they're sort of, it's almost like they're hiding the fact that his feet look a bit weird because
they're not split cut,
and they often hide it with his name. I mean that's my favourite one, where that picture sold it to me, where he's got K2SO just behind him.
This one here, I think a lot of people
are
sold on that one.
Cool.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I like the blue coat look. I know other people have mentioned that as well. I do like. It'd be nice to have his blue coat on a version one day. But I think it's great. I'm really happy because I know for me it's a figure to show off my K2SO. Funnily enough, but I am really happy for people because I know a lot of people have wanted this for so long. But the boot really bothers me. I mean, I'm just looking at my.
Are you talking about
America.
the boot here on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that stands like that.
It's not split cut,
like
so
that's like
it's
the
not split
Obi-Wan.
cut.
The Obi-Wan is the
like,
same, and
it's like he's
Bane is the
Gene
same.
Kelly dancing in the rain. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? He's not got a proper planted foot.
Yeah, because you need the art. They should just do split cut boots for everything.
It's such an
a lot of the
easy thing to
Jedis
do.
don't have them. Yeah, and they when they do it right, because you can just.
Yeah.
Because I don't use bases. When I'm posing the figures, especially if it's in a wide stance, whatever, it's great to have that ankle articulation because you can turn the ankles to pivot the way a person would naturally stand, and it means there's more of the feet flat in contact with the ground, so it's less likely to topple over.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
this here, it's annoying.
It just bothers me.
It does, yeah.
I
don't lose sleep over it, but it does.
I think you want it to look like a little human on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know, it takes me back to my Nebula days. You know, to get her to look human, albeit she was Asian, but you know what I mean. Because of the boots, she just looked like a doll. You know.
Yeah.
Anyone
else? Any thoughts on this? Dave, Phil,
You think
Bob,
they could just
Jim?
be whoever posed it just didn't want to muck with it? Like, because I know they like to use the hinge and swivels for whatever reason on the feet, which is dumb.
I can't see any break though on the boot though, so I just think
Well,
the
that's
boot
the thing
is
is like
one piece.
they've been liking those soft rubbery boots lately though.
Yeah, the Darth Maul has those, and he has a bit of
So
movement
it
through
could,
the ankle like that.
You know. Yeah, I mean,
so it's
Spider
deep
Punk
inside
had
the
them.
boot.
Daredevil had them. So it could be where it's just those
Hopefully.
softer
Fingers
boots.
crossed. Yeah.
And maybe they just didn't want to dick around with the hinge and swivel. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Maybe.
But like, I'm hoping that's what it is.
Yeah. It's kind of what we're hoping for on that Squid Game figure, isn't it? You know, the guy with the bare ankles.
True.
That there's a joint deep down in the shoe.
Yeah, but
also,
see, there's a
you know,
natural break there, though. I think because the skin
There
and the
is.
kind of canvas shoe, so you can hide it
Yeah.
a bit better. This here just needs to be split cut, but all right. So I think that's everything we've talked about new this week. We've talked about K2SO, Andor, Anakin. the black suit, Toby Maguire. We've done Face Off. We spoke about the Ewoks and get predictions on May the 4th. And we haven't done the snap. We'll finish on the snap, and we'll call it a day. Alright, so I want to see, as much as I like the Andor figure, I think it could potentially end up in the bargain bin. I think it could. I think it will go to waitlist, but I think you might see, maybe not the bargain bin, but I think you're going to see that version. People might get over it very quickly, and it could be sold on. So I want to see how loyal people would be, including myself, to Andor. You can only have one. The other one has to be disappeared forever. Jim.
I'm snapping Han.
Ooh.
And I'm keeping Cassian. Just because I've had opportunities to PO him, and it never crossed my mind. Whereas with Cassian, I'm in an RN about it a lot, so it just straight away tells me. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Quick
Bob.
one.
Yeah, I'm snapping hand as well. I just don't like that look. I know it just reminds me of Blade Runner, and I think I'd rather have a Blade Runner figure with that trench coat on.
Wow.
That's a good shout.
That's two. Phil.
I have both on PO.
Dun dun.
Han is due for release anytime now. But I would snap Han for a Bespin Han. So
What the fuck, man?
Jesus. All those years of where's Han?
We are gonna get a Bespin Han. 2.0.
I would prefer a Bespin Han, but I because of all the like humming and hawing, the community and myself included, we thought it wasn't going to happen, and it did happen. I couldn't bring myself to snap Han. I hope we get a Bespin Han. That's the one I want. I have to hold on to Han the situation. Snap Andor because, of course, I want the Andor version from Andor.
Yeah.
So we're basically doing the same thing in reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer Rogue One to Andor the series. I was later in the game when I started collecting Hot Ties, so all the Rogue One stuff was already through the roof.
Yeah.
You know, the troopers, all the troopers, well, anything from Rogue One went through the roof. So, yeah, I think we'll get another Han. I think we'll get another Andor.
I think we will as well.
But I prefer this version of Andor.
I think we're going to get two versions. I think we're going to get both versions, different versions of each of these. Dave, what'd you snap?
Well, see, I have Han on order, and I would like to have Andor, and maybe one day I will, but I'm also considering snapping Han from my pre-order list anyway. But like, if I gotta choose, to be clear, it is this figure versus that figure, not the character wholesale, right?
No, it's just this version. Why do I have such problems pronouncing version today? So if you're snapping Cassian here, you're not. It's specifically the figure, because if it was the character, I would put a photo of the actual character.
See, Gio's got me all messed up with his whole thing that he likes to do. All right, so shout out to Gio, but I'm gonna snap Andor because I want Han to go with my Ewoks I'm gonna get.
These bastards.
Okay, right. So we'll do the second one. Now. Dave, we'll stick with you.
Oh yeah, I'm snapping
again.
Andor.
It's the figure. Okay, snapping Andor, keeping Chewie. Phil, I think I know what you're going to say, but go on.
Fuck Andor, it's the only Rogue One. It's the only Rogue One I was getting anyway. Yeah. No,
So you're hanging on for that Besman Han, which will go better with the this Empire Strikes Back Chewie.
I know, but I got a 3PO, so stuff Han. No, that's really tough. This to me is the best Chewie they've released / announced. And I could live with an Andor.
I've given up all chance at inner peace.
Yeah, you're getting hammered today. Absolutely hammered.
Yes. Oh. Damn.
We'll come back to it.
I've got to let Andor go. I've got to keep Chewie. Snap
Okay.
Andor.
Bob.
I think that hopefully Chewie is going to be my favourite ever hot toy of all time. So
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
easy decision for me to get rid of Cassian.
It's going to look so different as well on the shelf. Jim.
Okay. I think Chewie objectively is a better figure, right? So I'm going to snap Cassian in this instance.
Okay. And last but not least, before we finish up the show, I'll go first. Snap Grievous. No interest.
Did you give us your Andor Chewie one?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Snap Andor again here because it's original trilogy, and yeah, it'll be a different situation. I think it was an Andor, but yeah, it's like I do think we're going to get a Besman Han, and Besman Han would look fantastic next to this Chewie here. But yeah, all right, this is an easy one for me. Get rid of Grievous. What do you think, Dave?
I think this is a tough one
Yeah,
for
I
Dave.
agree. Grievous is a dork.
Surprise me.
Are you talking, Dave, or it's your go?
Oh no! I'm sorry. No, I was done. Yeah, I'm snapping Grievous.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm snapping Grievous too. Phil?
Yeah, same for me. Grievous.
Bob?
Yeah, snapping Grievous.
And finally, Jim.
And snap in Caspian.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
He's of the two, I'd say he's objectively the better figure, right?
Well, I don't know.
He does come with 4 USB lightsabers.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
Cassian comes with 0 swooshies. So there we are.
Shoddy joints.
You've just described a lot of people's issues with the show. Not enough pew pew.
Yeah. But there's lots of pew pew, not enough swoosh.
Yeah, all right. I'm actually losing you now. No, I know what you mean. I posted the results of the poll. 25 votes, 63% reckon we will get more Return to Jedi Ewoks or Return to Jedi Ewok announcement, and 36% say no. So yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. We went on a bit longer than I expected, so apologies for that to my panel, and hopefully you can forgive me. Anyone want to promote anything before we get out of here?
No, I got nothing.
All good, thanks, mate. All good.
Cool. I think it's bedtime
all
for
good.
everyone. All right, folks.
Definitely.
Thanks very much. Much appreciated. Good luck. Like and subscribe now.
Do that.